Okay, we're live.
That's good. Live.
Live.
All right, Shalom for the Hebrew Israelites, and we're going to start this lesson by giving all praises to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, Hashem, Rakadash. Our honors to the apostles and the elders of the millstone, and salutations to the elect, pushing His word and truth and sincerity across the four corners of the earth, and peace and mercy to the sincere Aqua that may listen. So with the Hebrew Israelites, like I said earlier, and we're here to prophesy the downfall of this wicked kingdom, which is ruled by Esau, Edom. That's the biblical nationality of the so-called white man. And we're here to prophesy salvation to the elect of the nation of Israel, which consists of you Negroes, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and North American Indians. And we're coming to a time where what you know as martial law, or scripturally is Jacob's trouble, is we're coming to the climax of that. Because truly we're already in Jacob's trouble, you know, but we haven't hit the climax yet. Yeah. But that's coming very soon, right? In light of Bible prophecy.
Hold it.
You think you brought this up as well?
Yeah, okay, all right, yeah. It's 2 Ezra 16, 46 to 49.
Okay. So this is 2 Ezra chapter 16, verse 46. And it says, "For strangers shall reap their fruits and spoil their goods, overthrow their houses, and take their children captives. For in captivity and famine shall they get children."
Yeah, so those are actual not Israelite strangers, but that could also lead to wicked Israelites as part of that crazy evil from the martial law, right? Go ahead, brother. Read it again for the record.
This is 2 Ezra chapter 16, verse 46. "For strangers shall reap their fruits and spoil their goods, overthrow their houses, and take their children captives."
Beautiful. Okay, all right.
So basically,
go ahead. No,
just real quick though, but basically, like, when, you know, a lot of you people who are doomsday preppers, who are saving up and storing up all these guns, food, ammunition, things that are geared towards your so-called survival, people are actually going to bombard you and take all your stuff, you know, that day. So it really doesn't make sense for you to store up all them goods. They're going to take you, take your kids, ravish whatever you have. Yeah, they're going to ravish whatever you have and just take it over, right? That's all. I just want to say that, because that's a part of it. And then there's more. It says, "For in captivity and famine shall they get children. Okay? And they that occupy their merchandise with robbery, the more they deck their cities, their houses, their possessions, and their own persons."
Yeah, and you know, anybody who was a millionaire over this pandemic is now a billionaire, right? So that last little part you said where they got their riches off of robbery.
Yeah.
Can you read that again? That little part there.
"And they that occupy their merchandise with robbery."
Right. So they occupy their merchandise with robbery. How was Doug Ford able to become 5 million to 50 million over the pandemic?
Yeah.
Right.
Actually, it was 3 million.
Is it 3 million?
So he more than like two.
More.
He made 47 million.
Look at that. Right. But that's he occupied his merchandise around robbery. That's not his money.
But Jeff
That's not his
Bezos,
stuff.
what was he? That was so disgusting. About 6 months ago, they said that he made like 5 billion or 40 something billion on top of. I'm just throwing out the numbers out there, but it's the same illustration with Jeff Bezos.
Yeah.
You know, all the billionaires got richer.
Yeah.
Right. Real quick, there's a statement that these devils use. Okay, and it's funny. The scriptures expose it. They said when there's a crisis, that's when they get even more desperate and bring. In other words, they seek for blood to destroy you, to get as much as you can.
Let's reset for that.
Go ahead, brother.
Habakkuk.
Yeah, bring it up. Habakkuk says it better.
Habakkuk 2:12. It says, "Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood, and establisheth a city by iniquity." And so it basically confirms the statement you made, that Edomites that's a modus operandi, man. They like I said, buy with his blood in the streets,
Yes.
right? And they're so bold-faced with it, because these people have a God complex. They don't hide nothing, right? That should be ashamed, right? But they brag about their wickedness, right? Because they can't do no better. They're made to be crooked, all right? Verse 13 says, "Behold, is it not Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, of hosts, that the people shall labor in the very fire, and the people shall wear themselves for very vanity." So all this thing you're doing, right? Doubling of your riches and whatever you think, it's in vanity, man. You're doing this in vain. Because at the end of all this, it's something called reparation. Repair, okay? To make whole. And consider this as like an insurance claim, man. And even an adjuster, okay? And the adjuster is what to make right. So Yahweh Shai is that adjuster, man. And he's gonna make what your wrongs, he's gonna make it right. Okay? And you've done wrong to his people, who are the biblical Israelites, so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and American. So I can go on and on, you know what I mean, but it's not time for that. So, but
I got
jump in, man.
Same thing. It's so crazy that you were.
Bring it out.
You said I was holding it. You mentioned vanity and you mentioned labor, right? This is Proverbs 13:11. It says, "Your wealth gotten by vanity shall be diminished." All those Edomites that got quadruple times richer, right? Their riches will be diminished because they got vanity and deceit, right? But he that gathereth by labor shall increase. And who's gathering by labor? By labor, that's us, right? The men who's sighing and crying, right, and having their hands to the plow, we're getting that spiritual riches now. Theirs is carnal, ours is spiritual, right? Ours is for the future, theirs is for now.
Precept?
Yeah, come on, go ahead.
Haggai 1:6. Ye have sown much and bring in little.
Sure.
Ye eat, but ye have not enough. Ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink. Ye clothe you, but there is none warm. And ye has earneth wages to put it in a bag with holes.
That's right. Right, and that's spiritual, because I wanted to make a finer point on that. They occupied their merchandise robbery because you got a thing called interest and usury. So it's against the law, and that's why it's robbery, because I can't give this brother something that's worth $10 and say, well, if you don't get me back the $10 that I gave you, I'm gonna put interest on it, because you're robbing the brother. He doesn't have that money. But that's Esau. That's Esau's. That's the currency that Esau's currency is based off of usury. So what they're saying, like what the brother's reading, if you read that one time, actually.
Haggai 1:6. Ye have sown much,
Right.
and bring in little.
Right.
Ye eat, but ye have not enough. Ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink.
This is not going to be in the kingdom, right? Esau makes, even in the food industry, Esau makes a lot of his money based off the addiction of eating when you're not hungry. It's like it's overdoing it. That's why you got 60% to 40% of North America being obese. But Esau's making money off of that.
But that's another thing about reparation, because people, they think reparation is about giving you a check, right? Reparation is also based in economics. And economics, you have to sit down as an adjuster and say, what damage did you do based on your economics? And the food industry you mentioned brought in a lot of money, right? So you have to go back to all the damage you did, all the general damage you did, and you got to pay for that. Which is why Yahweh Shai says 1,000 years. So there's nothing giving you no check. You come here get a check and your check. What the fuck? Your check with them. You need to pay for every repair, man. Economically, okay? Your sex. You taught our people how to be homosexuals, pedophiles, because Jake's pedophiles too, right? So you have to repair. You can't just let people go after you tell them it's okay to sleep with their moms and their sisters and their brothers and all this foolishness. You gotta pay for repair that. You know what I'm saying? So we have so much. So we're not looking at the literal soul. Everything, man. Much. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So this goes deep and deep. It's not true. I don't want to check, man. Just swiftly, and I will give you a recommendation on your head, man. Yeah. You know?
Real quick, like the whole thing based on usury, what Esau doesn't, like we're allowed to do usury if it's something like that. That's according to the law. But it's because we don't know who we are as a people. That's why he can treat us that way and get away with it. So when our people are used, they don't even know that they're getting ripped off because first of all, you're a part of the state. You're not even an actual person. You're an entity when you go deeper into it. So this guy, he can rip you off, do all types of usury. But now it's to the point you have a select few of men who bring out this information and people are waking up and we're telling our people that they have rights and this shouldn't be done onto you. You know, so I'm just saying that whole usury thing, like you could do it to a 2/3 that doesn't believe because he's going off. He doesn't even consider himself to be an Israelite or a person with rights. Yeah. So if you see our people being used and they're not hearing what we're saying, it's good for you. Yeah. You know what I mean? So
he that is ignorant, let him be ignorant still.
The precept. That's right. Jeremiah 2:14. Is Israel a slave?
Right now we are.
That's right.
Is he a homeborn? Is he a servant? Is he a homeborn servant? Why is he spoiled? Right. Yeah. So again, the reparation, religion, man, right? You have to go back in there and repair the people about what you taught them about this white man Christ, right? That's done a number on our people, right? You can't get out of your head to the point where you're telling them, what is color matter? You know what I mean? You have to repair all that. And 1,000 years. That's so detrimental. What this man did to us it's so deep. So forget a check, man. Forget a stimulus check and 40 acres and a mule. You can't fix what you did by paper dollars, even gold. You can't fix it, man. All right, you got to repair the people, and you have to get rid of you, right? Because there's something called Edomite supremacy. That's worldwide. So to have a place with justice, that has to be removed, and you can't remove it and keep it. You got a bad tooth, like this is sick. Your tooth fall out, you take it, keep it. Tooth fairy is gonna give you some money. It's dead through the way, man. Right? So whatever is causing the problem has to be eradicated. Obadiah 18. Right? That's what we believe. Right? You have to be eradicated, Esau, after 1,000 years, and that's how you get reparation, man. Not you being there. You know what I mean?
Got a quick precept for you.
Go ahead, man.
This is Revelation chapter 13 and 9. If any man may hear, if any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leads into captivity shall go into captivity.
So that's for you, Edomites, and other nations, right? That think I wasn't there. It wasn't me. It says in the law, man, that you come back in your 4th generation. So this is where this reincarnation. He knows this reincarnation. He knows it is. The Bible speaks of it. Yahweh Shai dying and coming back. That's reincarnation, man. Because the word re means again, incarnate means body. So back again in the body. And it tells you that when he resurrected, people get out of the grave and went home, right? Lazarus was dead, and Yahushua brought him back. So it's all the Bible, right? They came back in the flesh. They came back as a mint leaf. It was people, man. All right, read, brother.
It says, "He that kills with the sword must be killed with the sword."
That's you, Esau. Your whole kingdom is based on killing, man. That's all you do. Any movie comes out, murder, Salakia. Right? Any movie you make, it has to be how much people died in that movie. So now we're again reparation. We're so beaten down with it. That's normal. What movie is this? Enough killing. Yeah, don't watch it. Get popcorn and watch your shit. You know what I mean? In our kingdom, that won't happen. We won't killing each other, man. But this man is about murdering, right? And that's a spirit of Cain, right? Any show that you make that blockbuster is not about like, hey, you want to see my brother, make sure he's sick. If he's sick, bring him soup. And some movies like that. Kill him. I mean, get the good part, man. Where he dies. Ultimate Fight challenge. Break his kill him, break his neck. You know what I'm saying? But let me finish it up.
Yeah, and it says here's the patience and the faith of the saints.
And we're patient waiting, man. You know, like we're speaking like how we're speaking with vigor because we're patient, man. And we're suffering because we can't wait to see your demise, man.
That's
Can't,
right.
you know, can't wait for you to fall, man. You know what I'm saying? It's lucky, brother. Go ahead.
No worries. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 17. Therefore, if any man be in Yahushai, he is a new creature. Old things are passed away. Behold, all things are become new.
And this is a code. It's a brotherly love, man. So whatever it is we did in a past life, right? Now we have brotherly love. Now we're nation building, man. This is a business meeting, right? This is not partying. See, each other thing where you party. Party to what? Think about any party you've been to. What is it? What's happens at a party? Loose conduct, drinking, and vulgar talking, man. No, this is a business meeting. We're here to work. We're prisoners of war. You know, ain't no party in prison. Damn dummy. You know what I mean? Negroes, Hispanics, Native American, so-called, should have business meeting. We're in the Lord's business. This is work.
They're the upper room experience,
Come on.
right?
Right?
And we have the example with the apostles. The Yahushua showed them. So it's the same meeting going on when we're here, and even when we're in the private doing those sit downs. Yeah, so it's a serious business meeting with the Lord. Go ahead, bro.
It says, therefore, if any man be in Yahushai, he is a new creature. And a part of you being a new creature, when you come to truth, because this word, it actually washes you, it cleans you, and now your eyes are open to everything that is out there. You can't act like the way you did when you were in the world, so you have to act completely different, right? You have to try and follow the laws, statutes, commandments to the best of your ability. That's why it says in Judges 5 and 11, you have to rehearse the righteous acts. And you know, at times it's not going to be perfect because it's a rehearsal. So you can't even let that get you down, you know? Now it says, old things are passed away. Behold, all things are become new, and all things are of the Most High who have reconciled. So you're bringing up the point about reconciliation, which is reparations, right? And the only way we can really get that is really through Yahushua, first and foremost. That's why we got this knowledge, we got this truth. But when we get this truth first, then it's going to play out in Obadiah, that final takedown. But spiritually, the Lord had to really die for us first to cleanse us, so we can get our reparations, right? So it says, who hath reconciled us to himself by Hamashiach Yahushua, and hath given to us the ministry of reconciliation. Now I pull up the word reconcile. It says exchange, adjustment, restoration to divine favor.
An adjuster. You know what I mean? It was Yahushua, man. The righteous adjuster.
That's right.
Right? To make the whole situation whole. Right? You can't have an unrighteous insurance telling you what you're supposed to get. No, man. You need a righteous adjuster, which is Yahushua. He's going to say, the payout is this. Right? Live by the sword, you die by the sword. That's the most said hit a just balance, man. You know, they can't have you as a culprit, right? You know, walking around with a righteous, right? After your hands is red, you're caught red-handed. Is he that stealeth a man, right? In the law, right? Come, we're here, man. We're the people.
So one more definition, because you mentioned business. It says exchange of the business of money changers, exchanging equivalent values, right? So when it says exchanging equivalent values, it's that, you know, this place, it causes you to transgress. These bodies, they cause you to transgress. So what does that mean? That puts you in the negative, you know, spiritually in the sight of the Lord. And it's through Yahushua, we're going to be brought back into the green. I know a lot of businessmen, they say, I'm like high-level businessmen, they say, you got to always be in the green. Keep making that money. Right? And we're going to always get that when we get into the kingdom, when we get our bodies. But that starts right now. We're changing. Right? Now, I'll continue on last precept. It says, to wit, that the Most High was in Yahushua, reconciling the world unto himself. And that world is representing the nation of Israel. First and foremost, it's really the elect, and then it's going to play down onto the whole nation when they come back, right? It says, unto himself, not imputing their trespasses unto them, and hath committed unto us the word of reconciliation. Okay, and that's all I have on that.
John, I got a precept. This is Psalms 149 and 8. To bind their kings with chains and their nobles. Let me start at 7. To execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishment upon the people. So that's real. That's real. How do you pronounce that word? Reparation. A lot of reparation, because you know, like the brother was going into, it goes deeper than just giving us a check. Everything you've put us through, you literally need to become our slaves, straight and forward. You need to be our slaves, and you need to experience what we experience times 2, because the scriptures say, "Give unto her double." You know. So it says to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishment upon the people, to bind their kings with chains and their nobles with feathers of iron.
Yeah, that's talking about those high-end elites, the Rockefellers. That's who it's going into. First and foremost, them.
Yeah.
Right? The Rockefellers, the top banking families, the elites of the elites.
Yeah.
Not the filthy ones that we can see on the TV like the Bezos. But it's mainly talking about them. And of course, Bezos, they're going to be into it as well. It's naming, the Lord is naming you elites.
That's right.
You Rockefellers and you Goldbergs or whatever you want to call them.
Whatever the name is.
Whatever their name is.
Edomites, man.
Edomites.
Edomites, man. Damn white people, nothing. You got a precept?
Yeah, let me finish this up.
Well, I still have the martial law stuff.
Yeah, we'll get back to it.
Okay.
Verse 9 it says, to execute upon them the judgment written. This honor have all his saints.
It's an honor, man, to put you put on your neck, man. Put a size 15 up your ass.
Sure.
Right? Vigorously.
Hey, Esau's levels of judgment, right? That's what we're getting into. We haven't even touched on the missiles because we just finished talking about reparations that the Lord's going to give us. That's our desire. But he's going to get that strange act upon him, those missiles. From the missiles, first and foremost, and then the UFO strange act. Okay? So that's reparations for us.
You see what's going on in the Middle East right now? You see Scud missiles. Scud. They shooting those things that's 1,200 distance.
Yeah, 1,200.
And they got a thing called Iron Dome. So because these things aren't getting through because the technology can't get through, this dumbass Christians are about because of Israel, you can't mess with them. You got
protect them.
They're from Edomites, man. Fight heathens. They have nothing to do with what's going on. But see, they want to fulfill the purpose so much. They have this technology where you can't get through. So they're saying the Most High is doing it, which in all truth it is, but not how they see it, because Most High is preserving them. Because Yahushua wants that smoke. He's gonna give them that smoke. The real smoke. So they can keep pretending, man. Right? Keep being ish. Keep being ish.
Yeah, and that's just to fatten their pride too.
Gone.
Yes, beautiful point. You see the Christian groups out there praying for Israel.
Gone.
The same thing.
I
posted something like that.
After seeing the other nation, Palestinians getting murdered and destroyed, they're still praying for those damn rats.
This is God's human, that's right. It's God's people. That's not Israel, man. Those are Israelites. Right? The brother Maracom says, you keep praying against Israel, you're gonna get it because vocab, he's going against Israel. You have to be careful. Good, read it.
Ezekiel 39:14, and they shall sever out men of continual employment, passing through the land to bury with the passengers those that remain upon the face of the earth to cleanse it. After the end of 7 months shall they search. So this is going into after all the wars are done, right, in the kingdom. You Edomites and the other nations are going to be working, man, right? Because that's the only way there's going to be a balance, right? We work for you on this side, so you're going to work for us on the other side, man. You think righteous men are going to touch dead bodies? Are you out of your mind? That's going to be your job. You're going to be the John Crows in that day, man.
John Crow.
Yeah.
John Crow.
John Crow. Inside talk. John Crow. Brother. Go ahead. What you got? You're gonna go there now?
Go back to Samaritans?
Yeah, and then somebody hold Isaiah 13 verse 16. It's all
I'm here.
Go ahead, brother.
This is Isaiah 16, and
No, you're
No,
second Ezra.
Second Ezra,
Second Ezra. Sorry. Second Esdras 16 and 46. It says, for strangers shall reap their fruits and spoil their goods, overthrow their houses, and take their children captives, slaves. For in captivity and famine shall they get children, and they that occupy the merchandise with robbery, the more they deck their cities, their houses, their possessions, and their own persons, the more will I be angry with them for their sin.
Lord, let me see that. All these fuckers who ripped us off, right? We went in there in spirit and in truth. I want to see that. Lord willing, let your will be done. I want to see those same men who have ripped us off for the years, because they're all part of it, those merchantmen that did all those wickedness to us. Continue, brother.
Okay. It says, the more I will be angry with them for their sin.
Hey, the Lord said he's going to be more angry. Go ahead, brother.
Saith the Lord, like as a whore envieth a right, honest, and virtuous woman.
So what do you call that? Indignation. That's righteous anger.
Yeah. Oh. I don't know. Hey, Iraq, you have children? Okay, so you don't know. You can't tell it. But the point is, when a woman's having a baby, right? I just thought about that. You can't stand the baby, the Lord made the baby stuck or take a little time to come out, and you come there and say, hold on, baby. She tell you some, her comments is all changed. Like she want to kill you or make you deliver the baby yourself, push him out and see what it's like. I'm just saying, they change completely with that indignation of a woman, so to speak. I just wanted to say that.
That was verse 49.
Yeah. Jump down to the 68th verse.
Okay, so this is verse 68. Okay. For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you, and feed you, being idle, with things offered unto idols.
Slack, read that again.
For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you, and feed you, being idle, with things offered unto idols.
Right? Hey, listen, we're rehearsing that. It hasn't, as the brother said at the beginning of the talk, it hasn't maximized yet. Right? And we got to remember, this is not Babylon. This is the ways of Babylon. Babylon is America. Right? And there's certain things it's very hard to get. I'm just saying, to get, unless the apostles, the Lord sent the apostles for us to get it, then we can get it. But anyway, I just wanted to reiterate, that's talking about Babylon. Right? Babylonish ways are up here too, but that's speaking about Babylon, what's going on there. And also, it's going to spread out to the four corners in terms of the wickedness and madness. Continue, those wicked multitudes.
And they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in reproach and trodden underfoot, for there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord.
So, with this whole jab thing, that's an example of that right now.
Brother, we're going to refuse the jab according to the laws. And what did it say? Read it again. It's just the beginning. Read.
For there shall be in every place. So every place and in the cities and the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord.
So that hasn't really happened yet, but they used to call to us. But we're talking about insurrection.
Well, yeah.
That's to come against the men of the Lord, primarily.
Yeah.
Anyway, continue, brother.
Yeah. I was also going to add to that point too, because you have a lot of people who are against this jab too. They call them conspiracy theorists. You have a lot of people who are against it, and with that comes martial law. The reason for martial law, that's insurrection right there, because these people they think that they have rights. So in believing this, they're only going to cause their own demise. This is all it's like adding another ingredient to the pot to make it taste better.
Listen, Egyptians against Egyptians, man.
Exactly, that's what it is. Esau's kingdom must be divided amongst itself. Right?
Iron and clay. It's prophesied iron.
Because people are gonna start watch. This is a fad. This whole slacker. I didn't mean to keep going on this, but this is a fad. This jab is a fad because everybody's gonna do it, and then something's gonna happen biologically, and then people who didn't take it are gonna be people watching, right? Like you see in these movies, like Purge. You have the small group of people who did, go with the state, with the society, and then You have the people who did, and that's insurrection. He got division between the two people.
What is this? Hey, how many months since they started to administer this?
Say it again.
How many months since they started to administer the jab?
Before the winter, remember they were saying
It's 6 months.
Six
Yeah.
months now?
they were saying it's gonna be a
It's 6
full
months.
winter and all that. So
You're
yeah,
talking
6
about
months.
7?
It's about 6 months.
Yeah.
June will be the 7th month.
Yeah.
June.
Yeah.
So the reason why it just came to me, right? The push for this, with this pad, and it's really going into the MOB. That's what it's really all about.
Yeah.
Okay, it's introducing the MOB. It's not the full import. The full import of the MOB is gonna come with a draconian mandate, right?
Yeah, everybody, it's about catching that wave, like surfers. It's about catching a wave, right?
Yeah.
Until you get eaten by a shark.
Yeah, pretty
What
much.
happens?
Or a killer whale.
Yeah.
It'll be quick and easy.
Well, swordfish.
Mama.
There's some sharks that can't touch some of those swordfish. Twice as big as the shark.
Yeah.
Before brothers keep
See,
going,
right,
the
the
one
reset.
like this.
Oh yeah.
The thing's long like this.
Yo,
That's what I'm
Sword
saying.
on.
Get it. Yeah, get it right. Yeah. Brothers,
The
you
boat
just brothers keep going.
the wave.
But there's still more, there's 71 here. It's
No,
good.
I'm saying, go up to 76, I'm reading.
They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. For they shall wait,
Continue.
continue, okay. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as the gold in the fire.
Yeah, because everybody eventually, even listen, you know, even if you think you're I'm not gonna take this jab, you know, I'm not doing all this, you're still gonna take it, or you're gonna die. Because the brother just read, the people who are gonna be the residue is the elect.
Mhm.
So they're gonna stand out. And
Yeah.
that means everybody else has either died or taken the jab or the MOB, really.
Yeah.
You know?
And I'll read that one more time. It says, they shall be like madmen, sparing none.
Yeah.
But still, so you ain't gonna have a choice. So a lot of our people right now, they have the free will, like, to do whatever they want, so-called. Like this guy, he's not really being as bad as you think he is.
Yeah.
If you think this is bad, wait till he really gets amped up.
Mhm.
You know, he's gonna really show his horns.
Until his martial laws are mandated
Yeah.
across the whole United States.
That's right.
And how it affects this country. This is not Babylon where we're at, but it spits out all of Babylon's way.
Quick research.
$30. Go ahead.
Revelation chapter 24. And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushua and for the word of Yahweh, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands. And they lived and reigned with Yahushua 1,000 years. So it's going into basically some of us gonna be put to death, man.
Absolutely.
You know, the only thing is gonna be like, you know,
They have to make an example.
can't.
So-called.
Right, so I said, then you should be known who belongs to the Lord, because we're going to stand fast in this truth, man. So he might be put to death.
Read it again. It says also the souls of the men of the Lord, men and women of the Lord who have died, who have not received the mark of the beast as well as those who are living. Right. So the Lord is showing us in spirit and truth, even those in the spirit world are crying out, when is this going to come to an end, like so to speak, and avenge our blood.
Right.
Because it goes into that in the 7th chapter.
Got it.
So I'm just saying that's one of the things in there. That's how solemn it is. If the elect is crying in the spirit world about how long, you see. So hey, Esau and you Israelites out there who are playing around, man, this is a solemn, serious thing. We can't overemphasize enough, because even in the spirit world, hey, that's why you get dreams. You get dreams about folks who have passed on, right? Whether it's your parents or not. Did they receive the mark of disobedience? No. But even them are crying out, right? Because my sister got a dream. My father was preparing fish and the pickles. And he says, the pickles, wait until the pickles are ready. before, like before, you can't come now, but wait until the pickle's already. And this was the man that wasn't in the truth. The point is, he's crying out as well. And even receive the mark of disobedience.
Right.
That's the point.
Right.
So I'm just saying, man, people don't understand what's going on because you're not spiritual. You don't cry for it.
Right.
Continue.
It's like even in the time of Genesis, in the book of Genesis, I mean, when Abel was put to death, he actually complained to Yahweh, the Heavenly Father, that aren't you going to avenge my blood? It's crying out.
Yeah, that's right.
So, you know, the ones that have died, they're actually cheering us on.
Yeah.
And they're like, wow, look at all the abominations that are in. When are you going to go back? When are you going to help us?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's correct. Lisa?
Okay.
Bring it up, man.
This is 1 Thessalonians 4, 16. For the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangels, and with the trump of Yahweh, and the dead in Yahweh shall rise first. Bring that up because a lot of our brothers and sisters are going to be put to death for not taking that MOB. Right? So this is just a booster to the brothers in the faith to tell them, even if you get put to death, man, you're going to be in the chariot first. But if you die for the name of the Lord, that's going to be the reward.
That's right.
You know?
And shalom to the brothers that are on the comment board. I see you're putting up a lot of precepts.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Read them up.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. I'm going to just hit here and put it on the screen. This is from the brother Only for the Elect. He put Psalms 64:2. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. That's a good precept.
Yeah, that should be our prayer constantly as well.
Well, that was obviously our king, man. And you know, and if our king, you know, was praying to the Father about that, you know, who are we? You know, like hide us, man, because this man is coming with great wrath. It's in Revelation 12:12 says he knows it's a short time to live, a short time to rule.
Yeah.
All right. So he knows the gig is up. Right. Why think he's giving you a shake and fries and a hamburger to take a stab in your stick a stab, man.
Wow.
And this man is so blatant with it. He says, "When come door to door, I get that jab in your arm." Yeah. You know what I mean? This man, I know more, man. Give you a lottery ticket to win a $5 million, $1 million.
$1 million opportunity.
Yeah.
That one.
You know what I mean? Come on, man. Like how dumb can it be to say, hey, man, you know, something ain't right, man. You give me that much, you can give me death, conquer death, because a sandwich is. They're still doing things about that making these sandwiches, man, for 3 years, 4 years, and it's the same shape as when they bought it 4 years ago, man. The fries is the same, you know what I mean? So that's telling you that's not food. So that they're giving you something for something, but they're both death. Both of them are death. The so-called, what you call this food, is death. You know what I mean? And this thing is death.
Yeah, they occupy their merchandise from robbery.
God.
They're giving you the real stuff.
Oh, look at this, man. They didn't tell our brothers that these blankets are keep you warm with smallpox, man. This is the same man. This same man told you 9 or 10 doctors prefer Camel. This is cigarettes, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So this man talking about I'm the world's overpopulated and if it's not about population, he's saying it's a food. You're growing cigarettes, you're growing tobaccos, man. Read out all those tobaccos, throw it away, and plant carrots and onions. Yeah. How about that? You know what I mean? Stop smoking, stop giving people serious smoke, and on the box it tells you this one can harm baby. And don't ask Edomite. Just don't eat Edomite saying, I bought the one that says harm baby because I can't get pregnant. You know what I mean?
I don't drink anymore, but I still smoke.
God.
Yeah, that's
you know, and I agree with him when he says the world is overpopulated because he needs to be eradicated out of it.
Gun.
Okay.
Gun.
He needs to get out of the earth, man. And then the world will be balanced. That's it. All Edomites destroyed. That's it.
Gun.
Well, yeah, after 1,000 years, but they're gonna have to build first. Yeah. Going to slavery.
Which make no sense. Which make no sense for this these marches, man. Right? To us it makes sense, right? Because we know what this is prophecy. But to them, right? Oh, no. They want things to go back to how it is, how it was.
Yeah, to keep us in slavery. That's pretty much it, right? Keep them put on our necks.
And now they want amalgamation. They want us to come together. We're coming together with you, man.
Yeah, we don't want your conspiracy.
Right? We ain't no Egyptian, man. We're Israelites. And the Moses says you turn the Egyptians against Egyptians. Isaiah 19, can bring it out?
Bring it out, hey, because we're rehearsing. rehearsing that right now.
Yeah,
Esau's rehearsing it.
Okay.
Do what you gotta do.
Okay.
You gotta do
This is
bring it up.
Isaiah 19, and it reads, the burden of Egypt. So when you see the people on the street walking around, it's a burden, man. Right? You have to get out of your bed.
Yeah.
I mean, go down there, find parking. You know what I mean? Like, my Bridget, you coming? I mean, get everybody to come. I got a chat group, you know, and make a WhatsApp group, and everybody's texting each other. You know, go to the meet at downtown. It's a burden, man. Behold,
Well, America means bitter.
God,
Right?
God,
Yeah.
right? Behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud,
Yeah.
and that cloud there we can get into it with that, all right? And shall, okay, it's a chariot,
It's chariot.
right? And so
So-called UFO.
God, and shall come into Egypt. So right now the Lord is, you know, is riding around, doing his things, you know, looking over what's going on. It says that the eyes of the Lord is on a simple kingdom, man.
Yeah, and Isaiah, Ezra says that as well. He's visiting the earth.
God, God. And the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence. All right. So all you actors, you're idols, man. Where's all the movies now? You know, everybody said, well, the movie coming out. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. I mean, in the cinema, first of all, and they're cut it out. All right. So all you, and this is one of your idols, because this MOB is an idol, but people are going to believe in it, and one can't wait to get theirs because you're being door with it. You know what I mean? You can buy a pop with it. Look what I can do. Damn it. You know what I mean?
But a good example of what's going on with the idols,
Done.
we're seeing a small example of that playing out in India. But I did some research on that video. I don't know if brothers saw it in the chat. I posted it.
It was fake.
Yes,
Yeah.
because I went and did some research. They're saying that Elon was throwing all their idols in
It's
again.
not true.
It's not true.
Done.
But I'm just saying, because brothers make videos about it, the information and this, what they brought up from the scriptures was on point. But you're going to see that in the time to come.
Done.
You know, all these people, they're going to cast away everything that they believed in. And they're going to realize who the true power is.
That's right.
Right?
So what Esau is doing with that, though, he posts things, and my brother who were not aren't skillful, jump and make something and say, oh, look, you're talking madness, to discredit you. Right? That's the fact check everything. Make sure you go to different sites and then look, make sure, because we're so eager for it to be over, we jump and we don't look up. So he says, look, it's talking madness. That didn't happen. You know what I mean? So we gotta be careful.
The apostles, I was going to say, the apostles always say qualified.
Right.
So what does that mean? Is that in the scriptures?
Qualify?
Yeah.
What do you mean by qualify?
No, what happened? What Esau is doing, is that in the scriptures? Where the fuck did Esau come up with this idea about people going to throw away their idols?
Of course, yeah.
It's
in the scriptures, yeah.
Yeah.
We're reading right now.
Right.
We're reading right now.
So that's what I'm saying. We're qualifying, but we're also saying that, hey, not everything that we see. So I'm saying that to say, right, that hasn't happened yet, but somebody's trying to push it through. Right. But the point is, we have to realize whenever we see something, simply put, right, qualify.
Fact check.
Yeah, that's all.
Esau fact check. We're gonna fact check too.
Yeah,
Because when you go deeper into the video, I have to just bring it out.
Yeah,
Right?
go ahead,
Clarification. That is actually anti-Hinduism, right? What they're bringing out, because those were Muslims bringing that out. And if you're aware, there's a lot of factions and there's a lot of quarrels in India between those two religions. So there's a lot of dissension in there. So we have to bring out the information. That's why you got to really check it, like what the elder is saying. That was all propaganda.
All right, but what I'm saying is also real quick. I have to check it out real quick. You have the outcasts there. They're pressured by both sides because a real Hindu is a handler. He ain't gonna throw out his gods. So that we know. So Islam, is right in between crushing the outcasts in there. But I know my mind, I haven't seen it yet, but I can't run ahead and say it, that our people that are there throwing out their gods. Because they realize they were downcast and they run from one religion to another, they see it's fuckery. So the spirit is moving. But anyway, we need to qualify.
So back in
Go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 19, so the burden of Egypt,
Yes.
behold, the Lord rideth on a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. Verse 2.
Yes, that's the final what you call it, executive, right? The men of the Lord who are preserved, we're going to watch this. You know, we're not talking about no flood in Krishna, 50-foot statue getting flooded. We're talking about those idols being destroyed by the chariot.
And at the end there it says at the end there it says the heart should melt. You have to remember, I was talking about the minds of these people.
That's right. I was just about to say that.
Yeah, they're going to be, when they see how it should come, those chariots, they're going to bug out.
That's right.
The reality is going to be broken. everything they believed and thought is not true.
Yeah.
The strangeness of my salvation. It's gonna be so bizarre. People are gonna be
Right.
bugged out.
The strange act.
Yeah, because their definition of what the chariots are different than what we know.
Yeah.
Right. They're looking for like the Alfred Hitchcock and Orson Welles is
Yeah, that
definition of
version,
what-
yeah. Somebody
Yeah,
coming and
sure.
driving like this.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a dark day, man.
Dark day.
Well, Egypt, we know here, is referring to America. And it says
Yes, always.
their heart shall melt.
Right.
Mhm.
And we know it's when melting is a changing of a substance. It's you go from one shape to another shape. So
Yes.
your mind of being proud and steadfast, and it's gonna change, man.
Yeah.
It's like you're gonna be a woman that day in travail.
Fine.
You know what I mean? So verse 2, and I will set the Egyptian against the Egyptians. So that's what's going on right now. Before the camera started, we were talking about I think 124 army generals signed a petition about you have pro-Trump and you have pro-Biden, right? So they're not getting along, and that's a sign of a demise, man, of a kingdom going down, because you need the generals to be in accord with each other.
Iron and clay.
They need to be
Can't
equally
keep-
guns, right? So you can't have a military man against military men. So it's right there. Egypt against the Egyptians, right? And everyone against his neighbor, right? That's like, and everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom, right? And we can see kingdom against kingdom, like right now in the news, because right now Esau is highlighting what's going on in a certain part of the Middle East, and he's like he's not sure, because he's not circumspect. So he never show you the whole thing. He show you a piece of something, so you think that's done with, but it's still there. The fire is still there, right? That judgment is still, that crisis is still going on, right? So now he's focusing on Palestinians and Israelites. Okay,
Those are kingdoms.
God, right?
Esau and Amalek. Esau, Amalek versus what were the Palestinians again? What were they on?
They pretty much said they're Philistines, but they're not.
Yeah, no, they're real big.
They're Ishmael,
The Ishmaelites, yeah.
Ishmael.
Yeah, but
And everyone his neighbor came against kingdom, and the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof. All right, so that's what it said. Join us, right? Blood matter, right? We're done with that black banner, man. We ain't with the black banner, so you can take all the
never was with it.
Gone. Well, you know what? I ain't gonna say that, because at that point I was probably black, y'all.
You were dead. You were dead, yo.
God,
You were
you
dead.
know what I mean? We're Dipsy, like I was, you know what I mean? We're doing that, but now we're saying what the Most High called us, right? We're sons of the living power. Yahweh Shem Shah. All right, and the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to idols and to charmers and to them that have familiar spirits and to the wizard. Didn't the Moses said this place is filled with witchcraft and sorcery, man? Right? So this is what this man been doing this whole time through his TV, man, his YouTube, and using our people against us with his music, man, which was noise, right? Because music was for the movie to do something good, right? Anything else is noise, man. All right, mumble rap. What the hell is that, man? You know what I mean? The Muslim shit, man, give millions of dollars.
Quick precept. This is from Gms Soldier Barazal Shapat, Luke chapter 11, verse 18. If Satan also be divided against himself, how shall his kingdom stand? Question. Because ye say that I cast out devils through Beelzebub.
Right.
That's a good point.
So shout out to brother Barazal, man. You're right, because I was going there next, right? So I was in Mark 3, right? And I was starting at 24, right? And said unto them, which is Yahushua, a parable, how can Satan cast out Satan, and if the kingdom be divided against itself, the kingdom cannot stand. So this is what we see right now. The kingdom is divided by itself, man. And we're no part of this kingdom. We're no part of this world. We live here. We're not partaking in them, and that's why we're watching TV and we laugh at them, man. Okay, like there's a state along this one of the states, which it is, saying if you run over a protester, you're good. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And we're with that. You know what I mean? You get 2 points against a video game, man. If you hit in a protester in the road, right? They say we won't hold you accountable, man. That's some good shit, man. I mean, run them over. I mean,
Yeah, so you see, when you read at the beginning of Esdras, insurrections have come
Guns,
against,
guns,
right? Because of the truth.
guns.
Because of the truth. Go ahead, brother.
And if a house be divided against itself, the house can't stand. Were we divided, right? Which is why we couldn't stand up, man. But the Most High stood in the breaches thereof.
That's right.
All right.
So I can answer something. That is why that's the reason why after King Solomon, the two kingdoms split. We couldn't stand after that. Because we only had 40 years of rule. It's the same thing with Esau, man. If you have Democrats versus Republicans,
Yes.
and the Egyptians versus the Egyptian, the kingdom will be divided and therefore it cannot stand.
That's
So,
right.
multiple examples in the scriptures.
Yeah, beautiful. It was a cutoff time for the Lord. He's telling you, and that's where we are in this cutoff time. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, so this is Luke chapter 12, verse 49. Let's start here. I am come, this is Yahushua speaking, I am come to send fire on the earth, and what will I if it be already kindled? But I have a baptism to be baptized with, and how am I stricken till it be accomplished?
So Yahushua has said that when he comes back, there'll be insurrection and fire be there, man. Right? So you know he ain't bring no bonds with his French accent. Comment ça va? That ain't happening, man. It's coming to cut heads off, man.
That's right.
And I mean, also add to what you're saying too, because these people are looking for peace, looking for safety.
There is no peace.
Right? There's no peace. But if you understand the scripture, Yahweh, the Holy
Yeah, just
Spirit.
gonna read it still. It goes
Okay,
into
okay, go ahead.
verse 51. Suppose ye that I am come to give peace on earth.
Yeah.
I tell you, nay, but rather division.
That's right. That's it, man. And that's how you know if you truly know it. These Christians don't know Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Because in a time like this, across the world, they're looking for hope.
And peace.
Or they're looking for
Come
peace.
together, man.
Together.
Right?
When Yahweh Shai said that I'm coming to create division. So they're completely on the left side.
Yeah. And that's why Christianity is mixed with Stoicism.
Wacky, tacky Christians. Go ahead, brother.
It's mixed with paganism because in the time when the Greek Empire was falling to Romans, there are these guys that they call Stoics, which they're all into thinking positive. If you talk to the majority of the Christians and the people around this queendom, that's all they have in their mind, thinking positive and thinking that everything will go back to normal, right? By just thinking positive and calling on the universe. You know?
That's right.
Destroy, man.
Does it on that?
No, there's still more. It says verse 52, for from henceforth there shall be 5 in one house divided, 3 against 2, and 2 against 3. The father shall be divided against the son. And he just, a little small testament, a friend of ours, that we know, his son got the jab without telling him. And his mother made him get the jab. Yeah. So basically, this is just a small testament. You're going to see this thing tear families apart. What's coming on earth and also the MOD. But you're seeing this now already tearing people apart. People don't want to be around each other. You had the CDC, Center for Disease Control. They're telling you Americans down there that anybody who has gotten the jab, you can now function like you were normal. Now, what does that have to say about people who didn't get it? Now you can't do anything. So that's going to cause a lot of fighting. And you're going to have family members that are with taking it and family members that are not about taking it. That's going to cause a lot of infighting. So this is clearly playing out right now on the earth. Yahushua said before his return, you're going to see a lot of division take place. This is division. That's a time that we're in.
And the young man's mother, they're Christians, right? That's what the brother mentioned. I need to read the precept, right? Because he brought out so-called Christianity, but the prophecy bring them all together. Real quick, this is Revelation 16:13, and it says, I saw 3 unclean spirits like frogs coming out of the mouth of the dragon, right? Which goes back to that old serpent, the devil and Esau, to be clear, right? And it says, out of the mouth of the beast, which is we know as NATO, with the 7 heads and 10 horns, right? And out of the mouth of the false prophet. That's his false prophet, which is Catholicism. So yes, they're all into they're into that. They're in bed together. That wacky tacky white supremacy Christianity, right? Esau controls all of them.
Right.
You know what I mean? Anyway, that's the point on that.
And you said she's a Christian, right?
Yeah.
If she's a Christian, then she should know 1 Corinthians 11.
What do you mean?
Where it tells you that It tells you that the man is the head of the house.
Supposed to know.
What does she do? She went against her husband. Are they married?
No, it's not one of those.
Oh, okay, okay.
It's this is a wacky. That's why I said
Okay.
wacky tacky, because they don't know this stuff. They have their own agenda. That's the thing about Christianity. They go down.
Lawless.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a precept real quick.
Yeah.
This is Matthew 10, and I'll start at 32. It says, "Whosoever therefore shall confess me before men, him will I confess also before my Father which is in heaven." Right? And that's what we're doing right now. You got the men of the Lord, beginning with the apostles and elders on down. We're confessing Yahushua before men. Right? And it says, "But whoso shall deny me before men, him will I also deny before my Father which is in heaven." It says, right? It says, "Think not that I have come to send peace on the earth. I have come not to send peace, but a sword. For I have come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against the mother, and the daughter-in-law against the mother-in-law." And you know what has went up during this pandemic is mental health issues among families, right? And even with my woman, like her family, they've gone along a lot worse now than they ever have before the pandemic. Why? Because they're stuck with each other. So those demons are having a party.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Those demons are having a party. So this whole thing, the Most High is covering all the angles.
Yeah, it's called, simply put, it's called scatter, sift, seal. Right? And we learned this through all these ABCD camps that is trying to come together.
Yeah.
You can't break the Lord's command. He said he's going to scatter, and he said he's going to sift. So yeah, it's in the four corners, and it's on every level.
Yeah. Exactly.
Go ahead, brother.
Let me read verse 36. It says, a man's foes shall be they of his own household. Now, for the men that are sincerely pushing this truth, man, we're gonna find more enemies of our households. Like even if you're with your woman, you're gonna find that she's gonna act more wickedly towards you than she was before the pandemic, right? Because the prophecies are necessary. A man's foe should be they of his own household. Them demons are gonna jump on your father, your mother, anybody. So it's gonna get heavy for us too. But it really doesn't matter because we have this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. So we know what's going on. Exactly. We know what time it is. That was it on that.
Okay, I'll just go back into Second Ezra because we're going into like martial law, right?
That's right.
So this is Second Ezra chapter 16, verse 72. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as the gold in the fire. Hear, O ye my beloved, saith the Lord, behold, the days of trouble are at hand. But I will deliver you from the same. Be ye not afraid, neither doubt, for the Most High power is your guide. And the guide of them who keep my commandments and precepts, saith the Lord power, let none your sins weigh you down, and let not your iniquities lift up themselves.
That's right, man. This is, that's the heavy point. Let your sins weigh you down. Straightforward, right? Because it's all about faith, and especially in these times as they get gradually worse.
Absolutely, we got to be simply put in a repentant spirit, asking the Lord, right? Because temptations on the right and temptations on the left coming at us. So we got to stay in the spirit, this word, okay, by faith, in a repentance attitude, right? It's really humility. You got that? Okay.
Isaiah 13
and 16?
14.
Okay.
And I'm going to get there. It says, and it shall be as a chaste robe, and as a sheep that no man taketh up, they shall every man turn to his own people, and flee every one into his own land. That's like these people these immigrants that came over here, because they call Babylon the great melting pot. You have all different types of people from all over the world coming here. And it's for one reason, it's for business, for money, so-called better life. They don't really want to get along with each other. They want the money. So when you see this place start to fall apart even more and more, circle down the drain, you're going to see people go back to their own people, their own kin, right?
Well, that's been happening. It hasn't been reported, and like Esau doesn't focus on it. But a lot of people have skedaddled. When it's happened, they were like, "Hey, I'm going back because there's people in the truth who said, want to go to the land I'm from."
Right.
I mean, but most like kept us here because but a lot of brothers, because no one wants to be around this shit. You know what I mean? But what does happen to be here? So it hasn't been reported on. But I think even in the States, how many hundreds of thousands have moved up from like New York, and went elsewhere.
Yeah, back home.
Go back to where you're from.
Yeah.
I don't know. Are you familiar with like Asians with attitude? It's
Yeah.
It's like the BLM of Asians.
Yeah,
right?
it is. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
You looked at it because I was watching the documentary. They're all banding together. All these Asians.
Yeah, I see little snippets of certain things on Instagram about that and stuff like that.
Yeah, they like patrol their homes and like their areas and neighborhoods, and like they defend against anybody who attacks like Asians and shit.
Okay. Oh, because it's like Jake. You're saying Jake is attacking them. Is that what that came from?
That's what it's.
With all the anti-hate bills they passed.
Nation against nation, man. Kingdom against kingdom.
Yeah.
Right? So you have 2/3 against Asians against attitudes and shit.
And that's taking a part of the so-called BLM chapter, right? That's going into the dogs licking the sores from Lazarus. Yeah. That's exactly what that is.
It's true.
Right? They're not even originally come for their own.
It's not about them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's
Well, it's prophecy.
It is.
Right? We have to see it, prophecy, and those lustful mixed multitudes in there. The ones that like to attach themselves to the 2/3.
A quick precept.
Go ahead, Black Lives Matter.
This is Sirach, Ecclesiasticus 28:3. One man beareth hatred against another, and doth he seek pardon from the Lord? So they're talking about I hate this person. Listen, man, you need to like all these things. They don't know about the Yahabash Mashai, man. Talking about Asians against what you just said, man. Gun, right? One of those is gonna rip your ass apart, man. Moab. I mean, that's your biblical nationality, man. You know, damn Asian. And where's the man called? It was Asianites, Asia. This is some black girl from the ghetto named Asia with ponytail, weave on your head, and named Asia. You know what I mean?
He's named after Edomite.
Gun, right? Asiaticus. Skip your Asiaticus.
Yeah.
That's who you named after. And in the spirit, you worship the dragon. And dragon is who? Esau, the damn devil, man.
Yeah.
Right? That's who you're worshiping. You're not talking about the dragon. You're the dragon. You're Esau, man.
Yeah.
All right. So again, Ecclesiasticus 28:3. One man beareth hatred against another, and doth he seek pardon from the Lord? No, they don't, man, because they don't know Yabash Meshach. They think about them, right? But you're gonna be judged, right? And you're going to, and Esau's made it worth it. Jake attacking Asians, which I ain't saying Jake's bugged out, right? But it ain't like a cultural thing, like a nation thing where we're against them. Listen, Jake loved chicken fried rice too, man. All right, wonton soup, right? So they're not attacking no Asians. I mean, there's a one out like off, and Esau's focusing again. He's a hammer. And, man, how much time Asians I see Asians attacking West Africans in reporting them. Gun. What was that mainstream media? So this is madness, man.
Esau just wanted to focus on
gun.
I'm glad you mentioned that because real quick, in our history, we never have any dealing with them. The only dealing that we have is we like to go in and go pop out your women and commit fornication. That's what we got to guard against. And the men of the Lord understands this, right? So you people, Esau, you're making up these stories like the brother is saying, man.
Gun.
Anyway, that's the point of that.
Jake loves shrimp, chicken balls, pork chop. All things. So Jake and I think no Asians, man.
Yeah. That's
go ahead.
So this is Isaiah chapter 13, verse 15. Everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword.
That's right.
Go ahead.
Okay. But that's Esau, man. In this society, that goes into the mark of the beast as well. Because they usually use this scripture as a mark because once you join unto Esau, man, you make him your God. And the Most High will destroy you. And that goes for the Israelites, not anybody else. Because they're going to be destroyed anyway. Right?
Verse 16, their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes.
Not the children. Not the children. You know what I mean? Because you see, these scriptures won't come. Like I keep saying before, in the other sit-down we have, those aren't motivational scriptures, man. You won't get that to your phone because if you have a Bible app, you know that will not come on your phone.
Never.
You know what I mean? According to your interpretation. How else do you interpret that? Your children interpret that to pieces. Their children, right? Why? Because it happened to us. And the most I hated unjust balance. It has to be balanced, man. Right? And that precept to Psalms 137. You know what I mean? So it does one place. Precept must be out of precept.
Yeah.
Right? So this is how the Bible is read, man. It's not a hard to couple.
And it's not about your it's not about your feelings.
God.
It's not about your feelings. Like, you know, when you read the scriptures, you can't like people these Christians read the scriptures and think the scripture is catering to them because they're reading it. That's why they pick any scripture that they like.
God.
You know, that's why the Bible app is never gonna get those scriptures, like your brother's saying, because they think it's about them. It's not about them.
Like make me an Israelite in charge of that, man. You know what I mean? Slaughter church.
Hey, they make me a part of that.
Like it really good.
No. It says, verse 16, their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled, and their wives ravished.
We're not houses spoiled, man, and our wife ravished. Like we won't be as wicked and unlawful as that, like taking you in front of your wife. You know what I mean? We'll put you to death. If she's bad, we'll put you to death, man, and give her 30 days to keep herself. You know what I mean? And yeah, and the kingdom, we don't want your woman, man. We don't want your woman in the kingdom because most says is important. Daughters of Zion, give them their beauty back, man. And as many of you so-called black women, because you got a shit end of the stick, man. You got to hit with the other stick. I mean, a lot of you. You know what I mean?
But you're going to actually see this take place when these troops from overseas come over here. They're going to ransack your houses. They're going to rape your daughter. And it only makes sense because they don't have an attachment to this land. They don't care about America. They don't care about freedom. They actually hate America because you bomb their countries and you American citizens, you live carefree. Do you know that what you have, the luxuries you have, you Canadians, you Americans, you know, so-called, your power, your power grid or whatever, you don't go out without power. These other nations, they have power outages on the regular. You go to India, even though as big as they are, they're an economical giant, they still have power outages in the blazing heat.
Right.
You have water at every need, you have everything that you want, and you're still miserable. So they see all these things, they take that into consideration, so they want to destroy you.
And on top of that, man, like a lot of the merchandise that's here in North America is off the labor of those people in the Middle East anyways.
Don't forget about that.
Yeah, you know what I mean? That's you know, just to add to what you were saying.
Oh, that's right, man. That's 100%.
Yeah.
And call them to Americans. They see the covering cast, right, is Amalek. He's a head tribe, right? He's a leader of all this lies, man. Okay, so he's counting your Americans, and you have them hating themselves. It's again Satan against Satan, right? Because at the end of it all, you're all Edomites, man. What do you call yourself Polish? What do you call yourself Russian? What do you call yourself Czechoslovakian and Chechen? You know, you're Edomites. Ukrainian. You know what I mean? You're Edomites, man. Right? And you've got the wool pull over your eyes like we did. We thought we were black people. You know what I mean? So this is the power that man gave. The man gave this beast, right? All this power to have the world in subjection, man. So this man, he put his own people as tributaries, man. You know? Yeah.
Hey, let Arak, could you get Psalms 137 and 8?
I was holding it.
Were you rolling it?
Yeah. This is Psalm 137 and 8. O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewarded thee as thou hast served us. Yes. Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones.
Sure. Special judgment coming to America. This Babylon, we call it by its real name, Babylon.
Right.
America, that land, all those missiles, the Strange Act, reparations, and right now it's being rehearsed spiritually. The word, when we put those videos out, man, comes up against Esau.
Jeremiah 51. 21.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, right,
Because they did a number on our children too when you went to the book of Maccabees. They were throwing our children off down with the head first as well. They were hanging our children out about the necks.
Yeah.
Right? So the scripture said, happy shall you be, man, it's gonna come back to them. Right?
You got it?
What it is.
Jeremiah 21, read on that.
21 undo.
Yeah.
Jeremiah 51.
Because we were just at Psalms 135, 137. So go ahead.
Jeremiah 51, verse 21. And with thee I will break in pieces the horse and his rider. And with thee I will break in pieces the chariot and his rider. With thee also I will break in pieces man and woman. And with thee I will break in pieces old and young. And with thee will I break in pieces the young man and the maid. I will also break in pieces the shepherd. I will also break in pieces with thee the shepherd and his flock. And with thee will I break in pieces the husbandman and his yoke of oxen. And with thee will I break in pieces captains and rulers.
All right. So when it was Psalm 137, so the Most High is going to use us, man, because he said first we're going to be fishers, then we'll be hunters, man. And we pray for that that honor, man. Right? He says these are the honor that the saints have. We pray for that, right? Because you did it to our children, man. You bashed our children head on stones, right? When Columbus came, he wrote in his memoirs that we're tall and handsome and friendly and loving people. So what did you do to us, man? You know what I mean? So again, the Most High hates an unjust balance.
Right.
So if he's about that, then guess what? Fear is fear, man. Right?
Yeah.
So this is why you have to come into Esau, and we don't have the power right now to do anything. So now we're reading the Bible. We're just telling what's bringing the scriptures up. All right. Something?
I got a precept.
Yeah, so just looking at stuff.
All right. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 1. And it says, Behold, speak thou into the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord Yahweh. And cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true.
Like I said, I was reading about them, man. So this is faithful and true. We read Psalms 137. It's faithful and true, man. It's going to happen, right? So we're risen up to bring you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but, right? This isn't a one-side media, right? We're telling you the good side and the bad side, all right? Because we're about balance, man. All right. So now we're speaking to our people, because nothing was ever made for our people that was positive. It's all negative, man. Jake's on crack. Shaquanda here fell out. Why she did some deplorable thing. You know what I mean? Bad boys. What you gonna do? Jake's run from the police, right? So now we're telling our people, putting their clothes back on, man. All right. And we're in the spirit of Yahushua, which is prophecy. We're coming back as a people and rising up.
Right.
Garments.
And as well too, because as well as that's why we always say the prophecy is necessary. Because the scriptures is full of prophecies, and these are faithful and true. So we don't really get caught up in the emotional aspect of what's happening around us. Like people are going crazy. Like the brothers were talking about, Christians are praying for Israel, the Israelis in Israel. We're not caught up in all that because we know it's prophecy. It's necessary. So verse 3, it says, Fear not the imagination against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee.
Well, that's imagination is like he's going to come. And first of all, he wants to count us. I got something in the mail the other day. Census. Gun. Right?
Got that in the mail?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Which is unlawful as hell, man. Like, what do you want to count us for? You know what I mean? Like, you have a plan, right? And your plan is to get your jab in her arms. You know what I mean?
That's right.
So we ain't fearing that. Because we ain't gonna do it, man. It's nothing to fear. We fear only Yahweh Shai.
That's right.
Because we got wisdom, right? And so it says that's the beginning of wisdom. You see what I'm saying? So we're fearing you knocking the door. It ain't at home. I see that when I'm doing wickedness, man. And it's like, man, that damn door, man. You know what I mean? There's a lie. No one lives here. You know what I mean? We're out. Put a big sign on the door. We ain't home. Yeah, like yeah.
And it says that speak against thee, for all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness.
And faith is for evidence unseen, basically.
The substance of things hoped for.
Perfectly. So
which is from the Father.
Done.
If you don't have that, that means He didn't give it to you. He didn't give you that level that you're lying about.
Done.
Anyway, go ahead.
And that's what Geno Jennings, right? He's unfaithful, man, because he's talking about he didn't think because he wants to. No, you say because you're scared they're gonna die. I mean, you believe in this C18+1, right?
That's right.
That's what you believe in.
That's what he believes in.
It's trying to trick people, boy. I'm gonna quit. I have to go to Europe. Nigga, ain't no planes, man. You know what I mean? You ain't going nowhere. Basically going in a sepulcher, man. That's where you're going. Yeah.
And then verse 5 says, behold, verse 5, behold, saith the Lord Yahweh, I will bring plagues upon the world.
That is what they call it, right? So it can come in different factions, right? Different ways. It could be this. It could be the pipeline being frozen. It could be plagues. Is just a bad scene altogether, man. Didn't Bill Gates release some mosquitoes in Florida?
Yeah.
Right. Talking about he's gonna kill off some other mosquitoes and
Some nonsense.
There's some nonsense, man. You know what I mean? 500 million.
Yeah.
That's some wickedness, man.
And plus he's gonna make his own mosquitoes.
Gone.
Yeah, so he's gonna kill off millions of mosquitoes, and a lot of animals depend on mosquitoes
Gone.
to survive. Even the mosquitoes are used for pollination, cross pollination.
Mm-hmm.
So he's just pretty much gonna put a dent in the ecosystem.
Right.
Plus he's gonna give you his mosquitoes, which probably have cameras on them.
Yeah.
Or they can just sneak into your house and see you doing whatever. And they can't trust this devil, man.
That's right.
That's right. Hey, it's beautiful. We take comfort from the scripture where Solomon says, "Give me any plague but the plague of the mind." So, in other words, when these plagues that the Lord put on these people, hey, it's for you people because you're wicked as hell.
Yeah.
Right? And we're asking here, this is what we're talking about in terms of the Lord's protection. The Lord says, like Solomon asked for, we ask for the same thing. Give me not the plague of the mind.
Yeah.
My point is, the plague of the mind is the first plague that the Lord put on these people.
Yeah.
Right? And all of the things that the brother just lists. Right? And that's what happens. And we pray to them every day not to give us the plague of the mind, because that's where the damage begins. Anyway, I just wanted to say that.
So it says, behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world.
Mm-hmm.
The sword, famine, death, and destruction.
See, that's all plagues, man.
That's right.
Yeah.
For wickedness. So for you Christians that pop in and hear this,
Mm-hmm.
there's a reason for the circumstance on the planet, right? And it says, for wickedness has exceedingly polluted the whole earth. When you connect that to Job 9:24,
Mm-hmm.
and you know who's orchestrating that wickedness.
The earth is given into the hands of the wicked.
That's right.
Right? And he covers the faces of the judges thereof.
That's right.
Right?
That's right. So you can't. And that's another reason why the men of the Lord were always talking against or bringing down the stronghold of Jesus.
Right.
Because that's a judge that they cover the face thereof.
Yeah, the other white meat.
That's right. For you.
Con.
It's Genesis 6:5.
Con.
And Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually.
Hey man, that's like, like if you get your imagination run wild, man, that's like every moment of the day is wickedness.
Yeah.
Every moment,
Hey man, I saw something. This Israelite posts, it's not the truth, but he sent me some stuff I was putting in the chat, but I just couldn't do it. Man.
Some things are just.
Some things it's spread brothers, man.
Brothers can't deal with this.
No, man. Brothers rebuke me this, but what it was some woman, like some West African woman, like in camera, saying some stuff, and I speak language. But then it clipped to where they getting strip clothes and beaten up, man. And it was a man, man, right?
The woman, right?
It was men looking like women.
Oh, women.
Right? But if you saw them girls, something like like a girl, like a girl you lust after, you know. But it cut to where the person's taking the clothes off and pulling the stuffings out, and some male faxes hanging out. They're like, what? Yeah, man. So that's some wickedness, man. Because you might see her, you know, somewhere else. They say that didn't happen.
Yeah.
Kill that. You know, Jake's there. You know what I mean? Something like that. That's attractive. Because like, wow, that thing's alright. Why send me this for? Then I look at that, man. It was men.
You know what, man? Drake will do that stuff for fun. Like it's a trend. Like all these different trends that they have coming up on TikTok. They have all these different, like they have people eating detergent.
Yeah.
What kind of fucking nonsense is that?
Yeah, I see the Jake eat a rat.
Yo, that's crazy. That's actually crazy. So why slack? I was just saying, like, why are you sitting down all day thinking about eating detergent? And that's all you can come up with.
Yeah.
Well, there goes in 6.
Scripture right now. Because it's the imagination of man.
Yeah, like you're going to part 6.
We did it again.
So far. And Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, saw the wickedness of man.
So he's looking at man, he's sitting in his house, he's like, all you can come up with today was to eat detergent?
And those were the Jakes back then. Those were what's Adam's second son?
God.
Yeah, what's Adam's second son?
Seth?
So those are the Sethites, man. Those are the real seed of the Most High, man. That's what he said, the wicked, right? Because they weren't supposed to do that. So they're pretty much going after the ways of Cain.
It's Jake, yeah.
That's right. Just like now.
That's right.
It says, and Yahweh saw that the wickedness of man was great, and the earth, and that every imagination, didn't say some, every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. Continually, man. Right? 6, and it repented Yahweh Bashem Yahushai that he had made man on the earth.
You got to take that in, man. The Heavenly Father, the creator of all things, the greatest creator, he's actually looking at his creation, Israel, and being like, yo, I shouldn't have done this.
Yeah. And he had that twice, right?
You know, like he didn't want, he was pissed. In other words, his level of anger was unmeasurable.
Right. And when it says continually, that just meant generation after generation, man. And they wouldn't repent. Right? At least when you go in the book of Judges, you see us going off and coming back. Them niggas were going, they were coming back.
Fuck that shit. And it grieved. It grieved him at his heart, man. So now you know why Jake's just jacked up and said some kind of ways, man. That's some love. That's some animosity. More like you bring his head off. Give him 16 empty. Said, oh, the cops ate the bullets in them. Yeah, man. Kill him till he's dead. Kill him. Keep killing him. You know what I mean? Verse 7. And Yahweh Bashemeshai said, I will destroy man whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, and the creeping thing, and the fowls of the air, for it repenteth me that I've made them. All right. So that's you're somewhere. So but basically I went there because that was in the days of Noah, right? And Yahweh says, like in the days of Noah, so will it be when Yahweh is coming back, right? So that's the same thing going on right now. Right? Pure wickedness, pedophilia, and an all-time high. Jake's being a damn sodomite and talking about eating groceries. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? That's some wicked shit, man. Right? Giving it good groceries. How the hell do you get groceries and tossing salads?
Wow. That prophecy, Jeremiah 5:28, linking all those things. When Jeremiah saw it, with fast surpass the deeds of the wicked. The wicked. Yeah. Wicked Jake is right behind him.
I got a quick precept because what the brother was reading, you use your imagination, you think about the anger of the Lord, but it's not just the Lord who's angry. It trickles on down. Like Yahushai, you got the angels are gonna come in that anger, right? And then us, more willing like the whole elect, we're gonna come in that anger.
That's right.
So a small example of that, real quick, because this reminded me of when David went off and counted Israel. The Most High tell the angel to chill out because he was already in that spirit. Right? So this is 2 Samuel 24:16. And it said, and when the angel stretched out his hand upon Jerusalem to destroy it. The Lord repented him of the evil and said to the angel, destroy that slacking. Said to the angel that destroyed the people, it is enough. So the angel was going so hard, and most times like, yo, chill. Right? So you gotta think about, man, the angels who are the ministers and the servants of Yahweh Shem El Shai, they're sitting here angry too.
Well,
You know?
that's like the men of the Lord, in spirit and in truth, we should be angry. That's why we do what we do, man.
That's how
The spirit is doing it.
It's funny you brought that up because we're just going into the census. Because that's exactly what King David did.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow,
The Lord was angry because of that.
That's
Wow,
that's
spiritually,
that's how you know Esau. That's how you know Esau is a damn
spiritual.
devil, because he knows that this is in the scripture. You're not supposed to count the people, and he's still doing it, man.
That's right.
Well, we can put the precepts together. Esau. So he knows the Bible, man. And some precepts is bang on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So this man knows. So he's calling on the calamity on himself. So.
And the scripture says, he who knows the right and doeth it not shall beat the many stripes.
Gone.
Esau will be beaten, man.
That's right.
You know?
That's right.
This man knows you're not supposed to count the people, and the examples right there, the brother just brought out, what the angel did to Jerusalem, and he's doing it. You know?
Yeah.
So he's bringing that judgment on himself.
That's right. I'll go back to 2 Andrews 15. So verse 7, it says, therefore saith the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness. So right now, man, that's why you see the men of the Lord, they're being more bold. Because it's the Most High. He's like, yo, I don't, like, it doesn't matter. What's it called? The cat is out. You know, the bag is out.
Yeah.
Type of thing. You know, he's letting everything loose. And it says, I will hold my tongue no more, touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit, neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves.
So that's why you see what's going on in Colombia, man. Like when you all put into the scripture, you see people, well, Colombia is being shot, they're attacking the people and da. That's the Most High judging your ass, man. It's all your wickedness, man. I mean,
All these ways of judgment.
and you think Venezuela stopped because you haven't heard about it? You think that they're back in Rome now, they're eating bread and having bonbons? No, worse. Shit still happening, but Esau just took the focus of that, now put it on Colombia, because that's how this man works. And they put it on a jab, the C18+1. I mean, he keeps going on and around because like he's trying back the Most High, but he doesn't have eyes on everything, right? That's why we're watchmen. A good watchman doesn't keep looking west, look east, west, north, and south. Right, so that's what Moses says on social media. It's basically uploading things. Hey, man, you see this? And brothers in different camps, the part of the world say, you see this? Right, because we're circumspect. You see what I'm saying? Always looking around, man.
That's right.
Like you saw one side of the media, talking about Israelis and this and that. Like that. Okay, good. We know that side. Well, what else is going on? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What else?
They're pounding. They pound your brain with it.
Done.
So I go to C19. I say this is witchcraft.
Yeah, it's true.
There's a lot of things like people aren't going really into about what's going on in Australia about the mouse plague, the rat plague. It's killing the farmers. All the food's being eaten. So, you know, it's world suffering. And they were one of the first nations to open up. So when you say peace and safety, some destruction cometh upon you, you know?
Yeah, and you read it earlier on about the plagues.
That's right.
The Lord is doing it.
That's right.
Right? Make no mistake.
That's
He
right.
gives the orders and he does it himself. Go ahead, brother.
And it says in the middle of that, it says, behold, the innocent and the righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually.
And it said the blood. So it says life is in the blood, man.
That's right.
Right. So it's the life that's in us, right? And we have murdered, right? It's called the Yabashman Shad, man, as the brother brought earlier about Abel, right? He was crying out, say, hey, you know, I'm gonna deal with that. You know what I mean? And Moses said that he's a just power. So he said, you know, patience, man, you know, is a virtue. You know, that's gonna happen. No words out of my mouth return to me void.
That's right. That's right. And it says, verse 9, and therefore saith the Lord Yahweh, I will surely avenge them and receive unto me all innocent blood from among them. Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt. And that's what's happening with Jake right now. You guys are being led, you guys are sheep being led to the slaughter, with this jab. And it says, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and stretch out arm and smite Egypt with plagues.
And that mighty name is Yahushai, man.
That's right, beginning with Yahushua.
All right.
And it says, smite Egypt with plagues as before. So that's talking about America today, because it said as before.
Keep reading.
And it says, that's right.
That's right. 2 Ezra 15, right?
Right.
Keep reading.
And it says, and will destroy all the land thereof. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundations of it shall be smitten with plagues and punishment that Yahweh shall bring upon it. That's why you see a bunch of earthquakes, right?
A lot of variations even right now, rehearsing it, getting in the time of martial law to become, mandatory, right? Those variants, whatever, and plus all the other things that we mentioned.
That's right.
Continue with it.
And it says, they that till the ground shall mourn. You're just talking about the farmers, right? For their seed.
We also just had the pipeline on the East Coast of the United States. It got hacked. Which they're not telling you. And they're not, there's actually more to it. Biden's not really telling you that they probably have to pay those hackers off to get that hack away.
So I think it's really the elites are just saying, hey, we're pulling back on this place.
Right.
What can send the gasoline or whatever to the bunkers and store that shit. Because remember, this place is, they're storing for the last days, man. Fill their belly.
Yeah.
Right? So they'll just put out stuff, oh, the hackers did it, blah, 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 but we'll pay off the hackers. Don't worry about it. Just put it in the media. They fucked it up.
It's all speculation at the moment. Right?
But you're right on what you're saying, because this is what's in the media on Brother Bar.
But you had it shut down, and you had a lot of people panic buying. You had people buying, filling up gas in garbage bags. You had people fill up about 8 bags with 80 gallons of gas storing in the trunk of their car. Like, what the hell? What's going on?
Is this one where it goes, Big Trouble is cheap in those days? Is this the chapter?
I don't, not for sure. Not for sure.
Is it 9?
It says,
I think,
okay, so verse 13 says, they that till the ground shall mourn, for their seed shall fail through the blasting of hail, and with a fearful constellation.
Sorry, brother. Sorry. I know we're talking about, but
don't worry about it.
But if you notice, I don't know, brothers, because we live in the city that we're from.
Elam,
no farmers, no food. They're complaining because of what's happening over there in the land of Elam. You have the Modi government taking away farming, and he's going to actually privatize it, where farmers can't get in, and you can't have small farmers selling, and a majority of the people on how they make their income there, about 60% of the people are farmers. That's what they're saying. So he's going to privatize that, let these big corporations come in, and now that's causing an uproar over there.
And you see, the funny thing is, everybody's making their plans and schemes to make more money during this pandemic, from the top elite all the way to the bottom. But the money and the plans they're making it based up, they're basing their plans upon, it's going to crumble. It's a big setup,
And also that what they've done is this big company is they went into Elam and offer them seeds for their seeds, right? So seeds they've been using for decades, generation, and promise them that these seeds will give them more yield, bigger fruits, whatever they're planting. And then when they did this, even it did give them bigger yields, it messed up the ground, because the ground, it has to be a certain amount of fungus and bacteria, like it has to be balanced, right? Just like the body. Right. So they didn't take it in consideration. So now everything is going haywire, right? And that's why where we're living, they're saying no farmers, no food, because like their seeds is not good, and they rely on that. That's their livelihood, right? And now he says like, should have luck, man, because he messed the land. So this man is about death all the way around, and if he left him of himself, he's going to eventually kill himself right? Because he's suicidal.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
He did it when he came here, right? And he couldn't survive the first winter,
Gone.
right? So like there's a scripture and it talks about the son that decides not to work when it's summer,
Mm.
right?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, Proverbs.
Right? Yeah,
yeah.
God.
he's that wicked son, man.
Gone.
He's the beast man.
Verse 14, 2nd Ezra 15 and 14. It says, woe to the world and to them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. And you know, they're calling this, there's an article that was posted, I think in the group chat, but they're calling this summer, it's gonna be a violent summer. And now when you go into, I searched up violent summer, and there was something called a red summer.
Yeah, that was 1919.
1919, where the
Yeah.
exact
Back
same
to us.
thing,
Yeah.
it goes right back to us,
Yeah.
right?
They were
And,
killing Jake, right?
Con, yeah, the exact same thing.
And that's when Black Wall Street happened. I think it might happen 2 years after that.
Yeah, about
Yeah.
2 years after, yeah. That's
Right.
right.
And then after that, Chicago happened. They don't document that one either, because that one's really bad too. Yeah.
Well, they arrested 3 soldiers for selling, for admitting, well, being caught red-handed for selling all those guns to the gang in Chicago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You see?
But they made mention this on a side, in other news, but in the side,
Right.
And that
You know?
should be,
God, that's
that's
really
because that's pretty much there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drugs,
God.
drugs and arm.
ATF.
Atheists.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Because how did Jake get to have a hand in all these military weapons in the hood?
Right.
Right? You see guns with damn freaking
Sniper
shit that
scope.
Esau has, man.
Yeah.
I seen a Jake with a rocket launcher, man.
Mhm.
Like that guy said a couple of years ago, they used to just come and drop off like tankers in the hood and just leave it there.
Train
Trucks, yeah.
Train loads.
Yeah, well, and
Car
just leave the
train
guns there, man, in the hood.
They
Just
did
like
that
that.
in what was it, South Central or something?
Yeah.
We read a part of this. It's article 3 U.S. soldiers. It's 3 days ago. It says 3 U.S. Army soldiers accused of illegally selling weapons used in Chicago shootings. Right. This is May 12, 2021. Soldiers are accused of conspiring to buy firearms in Tennessee and illegally selling them to Chicago, where weapons were traced to at least 1 mass shooting and other gun attacks, according to a criminal complaint filed this week. So you can look it up, right? So that's what they're doing. I said allegedly. This happened, man, because one gang member spilled the beans, saying he saw a truck opened up with all kind of guns, and I did saw that guy with the rocket launcher saying like, what you know, what was the rocket launcher, man? In the hood. You know what I mean? That's what dumb Jake is, man. Saw his children, man. You put yourself on, like, how do you explain that? You're gonna go under the jail for that. You know what I mean? A rocket launch.
Maybe through the jab.
Jake's mad.
So it says, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands.
That's right. So that martial law is coming, right? That sword, and on top of it, you're gonna have these race wars, right? Class wars, right? The super rich against the super poor, because I always been saying about hungry dog come for the rich man supper, man, basically. So the man's gonna be, he's gonna be in that hunger mode. So whoever has it up, you better get down or lay down. That's what's gonna happen.
That's right. And it says, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes.
Like, we're gonna turn the hunger line away. Like when you're hungry, like a good man can become a bad man based on how you can feed his family, man. So you lose from a good old neighbor, that guy that always cut you long for you. So that guy running up in the house talking about where the can of beans with the pork in it, man. You know what I mean? The farmer beans. Where's it at? nigga.
It's gonna be purge forever.
Yeah, man. You know what I mean?
It's terrible.
Hey, man, it's gonna happen. What it says they're gonna eat your kids. So how are you gonna be to want to eat your own arm, man? And then I think Isaiah 9 on down. Say, yo, eat your own arm.
None of these people know anything about that.
You know,
Yeah, they don't know.
like I said, they didn't put an Israelite into those where they send the scriptures to your phone. You know, they say, eat your own arm. You know, that's in the Bible. Yeah, you know what I mean. When I made a video about they're doing a thing and say seven girls should hold one man.
Yeah.
And like, guys, that's in the Bible. Because they know it's in the Bible. You know what I mean? But a lot of things in the Bible you guys don't know, man. Right?
And it
And they're
says,
being set up to do this.
yeah.
It's simply put, right now we're in the process of that with the vaccines and so forth. The Lord is removing His Spirit because He's here visiting
That's right.
and getting ready for this to be mandated fully.
That's right.
Go ahead, brother.
And the course of their action shall stand in their power. So that's basically anarchy, man.
Yeah.
They're gonna be like animals, doing whatever they want.
Zombified, we've been calling that for years. Go ahead.
That's right.
Because they're closing the Greyhound after 135 years, just went belly up. They're done. Greyhound.
Yeah, no more.
No more Greyhound. That's 135 years. That's
Well,
like
here in Canada, I don't know about the States.
That's still big though.
That's just a branch of it.
It's still big.
Yeah.
Trains, everything. Bus.
Big.
But they said it's amazing because they mainly only go to Toronto,
Ottawa.
Ontario,
Okay.
Ontario, and Vancouver. So those are where they were hit the hardest.
Gone.
So they just closed it up. But they did that. They closed off. There was, I think, another Canadian one that closed up when I went to Calgary. That was like 3 years ago.
Was it Trailways?
One of them they closed up, right? Closed up shop. But
So the jobs.
Greyhound is the main one.
Oh, yeah, they closed
That,
it.
that hit the
Be
hard.
real? No.
There's a lot of jobs
It's only
out there.
for
Megabus.
Yeah, closed.
Oh,
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
Right, so they go, you catch your job. You know what I mean? You know,
And the bus driver.
the bus driver, the guy who gets the bags, the baggage handler, the gas that he was buying. So it affects a lot of things, man.
Yeah, even the mechanic,
Gone.
and then whatever supply chain.
Gone.
Yeah,
Right?
people forget that it's you that keeps these businesses up. So when they decide to, like, when things like that happen, people are not thinking about how many jobs are being lost. You know?
Right? Like all them kiosks with like, you buy your peanuts and your paper, the guy who owned the booth down is done.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
Everything, man.
Sorry, but did you try to make victuals made cheap?
No, I think he asked for that too.
That's what it is.
Because going back into the bus, what Del just mentioned,
Yeah.
I remember when I was in school, I used to go
Yeah.
to St. Catharines in
Yeah.
Toronto. You can get the megabus for a ticket, it was $1.
Fine.
I used to pay $1 for a fare.
Fine.
Everybody used to get, but you have to book ahead of time, that's gone.
Gone.
$1 tickets to take the bus, a big bus like that, a coach bus, is no longer there. It's crazy.
Con,
Victuals made cheap.
I got that. We'll get there real quick. 2 Ezra 16:21, and it says, "Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon the earth." It's like I read it again. 2 Ezra 16:21. Behold, victuals shall be made so good cheap upon the earth, that they shall think themselves to be good, to be in good case.
So you can tell that that's talking about America, man. Right? Because right now, even yesterday, I bought a pizza, right, with toppings and extra large for $12. You know what I mean? So
from where?
pizza.
Yeah.
Okay. Just
I ain't
check.
endorsing pizza either, man. So as long as you be no, but you can get a hamburger, fries, and a shake or Jack. No, for like $4. Some deals. No, now NW has a thing right now, $7.99, right? For two burgers and two fries. Right? That's a walking special. I mean, so that's what people think. Everything's good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And plus, they're not leaving their house to go to work.
Gone.
They're working from
Gone.
home and they're getting money.
Right? So everything that seems is okay.
Hey, don't get it twisted. We're talking about prophecy here.
Right?
As we're reading out of the Bible. That's what's
Well,
been going on.
Well, everything is, you gotta have good and then you have bad.
Gone.
It always goes from good to bad,
Gone.
Yes.
right?
But it says, so they think they're in good case. Because things ain't, because we're talking about hyperinflation, and so they're gauging it. So it's still good. You know what I mean? Because the prophet says, I'm saying that there's going to be hyperinflation, but it doesn't come overnight. It won't just come like gradually. There's something that's gradualism, but something that hits you like a you're walking the bricks, bam!
Yeah, because did you see the
The
thing I
pandemic?
posted? That Tesla, he pulled out
Done.
Bitcoin,
Done.
and then it just started dropping,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So these guys who are on top, and they're the face of this these businesses and stuff like that. These guys just pull out, and everything crumbles because they're stealing money from the people. Because the people, the poor guy is the one who's building that. Any corporation that's out there. If you don't have the workforce, that's the pillars, right? You just always have a face, but when this guy pulls out, and everybody's like, "What the fuck? Where do we go? We're looking for a leader. Oh, fuck this! Let's leave."
It doesn't matter what currency you start up that's of the people. If it's not of Yahweh Shemel Shai, it's still going to be wickedness in there.
Yeah.
Because Bitcoin was created for us, for people to get away from the bank. But you can't. But that's what I'm saying. That's an example.
So they're trying to offset
And
property,
double agents,
right? So
mainly for
Beautiful
double
point.
agents.
Double
He's out there corrupting countries and infiltrating in countries and then bringing forth corruption. Because they need to hide this. Remember, it's cryptocurrency, so it's hidden money that you don't know. Oh, so where is it? This allocation. Let's find the trace of this. Oh, what the fuck? It's on the dark web. We can't find this. It's encrypted.
a quick article we deal with. This says corn prices have jumped 142% in the past year amid rising demand from China, drought in Brazil. Right. So if you were to Google products that contains corn,
so your vodka is going to be $200
gone. Everything, and 142%.
Just for 750 milliliters.
Right. So what cost you $1 last year is now $1.50. Is that how it goes?
Yeah, well, pretty much depends on that hyperinflation.
Gone.
But I bought a can of Coke for $1.50 today.
And there's caramel.
From Elam.
There's some coloring in there, probably from corn. Could you be surprised?
Corn
Cornstarch, corn syrup, high fructose, this. Everything has corn. So everything's gonna go up. So what Esau's done is made the bag the same, what you're buying, but the contents less. You know what I mean? There's my damn thief, man. He's tipping the scales.
Yeah. I remember they did that when I first came in the truth, when they switched up the Minute Maid, the cans, because I used to always buy the canned juice. But then I stopped dealing with that because I was just like, what the fuck? Size changed. Like, I can't even remember if they still make high C. I think it's only at Costco. Big ass can. Right? But they fucking shrunk the shit down, which is Minute Maid owned by Coca-Cola. And you're making, it's about shrinking the size of the quantity, what you're getting, and then the quality is garbage, so you're paying more.
John, let me finish this precept. This is 2nd Ezra 16 and 21. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth that they shall think themselves to be in a good case. And even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion.
So you confuse on, should I take the vaccine? And the one that to stick a battery in my arm and see if it sticks on my arm, it falls off. Look what I can do, man. Look what I can do. You know what I mean? So this is what the confusion is going worldwide, because you see it in your face, right? That this can't be good, because how the hell are you gonna get something sticking in your arm? You're a $6 million man. You got magnets inside you. You know what I mean? So
notice it's not even the right arm; it's the left arm.
Done.
And remember, the scripture goes to that in Revelation.
Yeah, it says in arms.
Plural. Right?
That's in
hands.
15 or 16.
Yeah.
Plural. Continue.
And this is the stroke arm. It's where you get stroke, left side.
Left side.
Continue.
It just shows you, real quick, that a lot of these people, they don't understand what they're involved in, because when you look up the word victual, it goes back to the word provisions. Provisions are only given to you to sustain you for a period of time. Like in war, they'll drop you a care package. That care package is just for the moment to get you through that time. These people, they're living off of that shit, thinking that it's okay. You're not supposed, that's not normal. You're not supposed to go to a dollar store and shop for all your household items. You're not supposed to do that. So these people are bugged out. They don't know what time it's. No clue.
Wow, they lost all sense, man. That's crazy because, you know, that really shows you, like, you know, when you talk about carnality and being carnal-minded, this is the little example of that because their environment, being carnal, this society is crumbling. So they're crumbling. They're being confused. Like you said, there are people who don't even know how to grocery shop right now. You know, but us, being men of the Lord, our mind is not of this world, right? As this world has decided to crumbling, our minds are staying strong because it's in Yahweh Bashem Yel Shai.
What it say? We're gonna be like pilgrim in those days. So right now, if you're woke up to this truth, you're a man of the Lord. You shouldn't be buying nothing you don't need.
Minimalist.
Nothing. You should have rooms empty in your house. Just ready to go, right? But Esau has brainwashed the thing. Oh, I got empty. I'm gonna put something in. I'm gonna put this in. Listen, you're just nothing. Just ready to go because like you're gonna have to leave everything, right? It goes in your back. Right, so this time we're in right now.
Nothing's going up in the chariot, but
Done.
so to speak,
No.
spirit and the truth.
I want a seven bedroom, a seven seat table and chair, you know, for the living room.
You just need certain things that you actually need.
Gun, that's it. Necessities, man. Necessities.
I got a
Word,
precept.
and then you have to wake up. Water is one of them, and a few other stuff. And that's it.
You want to continue to the 19th verse
Okay.
on that, and then go get the precept.
Con.
It goes up to the 19th verse. In Ezra,
Con.
regards to martial law, just
Okay.
to clarification. Just go to the 19th verse.
Okay, I'll get this quick precept just real quick.
Yeah, okay, and then go back to.
This is Matthew 6:24, and it says, select. Okay, yeah, Matthew 6:25. It says, therefore I say unto you, take no thought, that's right, take no thought for your life, what ye shall eat, or what ye shall drink, nor yet for your body, what ye shall put on. Is not the life more than meat, and the body than raiment? Behold, the fowls of the air, for they sow not, neither do they reap, nor gather into barns, yet your heavenly Father feedeth them. Are ye not much better than they?
So is that saying not to go to Costco and get some stuff if you can't eat it? Sure, why not?
Yeah.
I mean, but don't say I'm good because you ain't good.
That's right.
I mean, it's all to the Lord, man. If the Lord is dealing with you, right? If the Lord says this is your way is it up in charge, or you can be beheaded, or he's gonna get you, man. So don't put your trust in this. Say I'm good. There's a J color thing. I'm good, dog. I'm good. You know what I mean?
And it says, verse 27, which of you, by taking thought, can add a cubit to his stature? And why take ye thought for raiment?
So Esau has a thing now where he has surgery, where he make it taller, make your butt bigger. I mean, so he's always trying to go against the Most High, man, because he thinks he's the God. All right, but it ain't natural, man. It's artificial.
That's
right? Right. So we're dealing with the truth and what's right, and these are all questions dealing with the righteousness, not in the left hand side, man. First, we do the left hand side, right? But we're talking about the right hand side, man.
All right. It says, consider the lilies of the field, how they grow, they toil not, neither do they spin. And yet I say unto you that even Solomon in all his glory was not arrayed like one of these. Wherefore, if Yahweh so clothe the grass of the field, which today is and tomorrow is cast into oven, shall he not much more clothe you, O ye of little faith? Therefore take no thought, saying, what shall we eat, or what shall we drink, or wherewith shall we be clothed? So people are bugging out like that. You know, when this pandemic first happened, you know, what did they first go for? Toilet paper. They didn't even go for the water. They went for the toilet paper.
Because they're full of shit.
Yeah, because they are full of shit. You know?
Now they're going to raise it because it's a byproduct of wood. That's what the toilet paper and most paper products. So they're going to raise it.
Well, I've
talking
been
about-
seeing that they've been pushing it,
Yeah.
but they
So they're gonna
this
use-
and that
Sure.
people to use. But people over here are very stupid. Only in Europe they use that. They don't even know how to install that either. So, well,
Thank you. The Dan Liar says the reason why they're going to raise it is because there's not enough of that byproduct. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There's no faithfulness in his mouth. You know what he's up to.
yeah, he's just
Guy.
just raising it for more profit.
Simply put.
It's just about to be super rich.
That's right.
Verse 32, it says, "For after all these things do the Gentiles seek, for your heavenly Father knoweth that ye have need of all these things."
And who are those Gentiles there? Are those Israelite?
2/3,
Yeah, 2/3.
2/3 in the rest of the nations,
Yeah, nations.
and 2/3, yeah.
Nation and 2/3. Yeah. Okay. Just want to qualify on that. Go ahead.
And it says, but seek ye first the kingdom of Yahweh and his righteousness. So that also means going to the scriptures before this Edomite man, before you go into the devil, right? When all of this has happened, but that's not, again, that's only the men of the Lord are going to be doing that, right? And it says, but seek ye first the kingdom of Yahweh and his righteousness. That's why we're not taking the jab. And all these things shall be added unto you. So even though we're not getting caught up in these, the men of the Lord are not getting caught up in this fad of the jab and taking the jab and all this, because you just said, because that brought to my mind that Venezuela, that was a couple years ago.
Yeah.
You don't hear nothing about it no more. But it's a fad from one next to the other. But the men of the Lord, because we're seeking the kingdom, we're not caught up into the wind with everybody else. That's why we're not going to take this jab, and we're still going to be able to eat. We're still going to live. We're still going to be able to do what we need to do to get by daily bread.
That's right, because we seek the kingdom first.
Exactly.
That's our main food. Go ahead, brother.
That's right. Last verse, it says 34. Take therefore no thought for the morrow shall take thought for the things of itself. That's right, because this is a script, and it's just being played out.
Well, every day has his own problems. So they're saying every day has, so it's not like this is it. Like it's in Venezuela, that's going on still. It's still hard to get bread. Girls still getting raped. People are still, but he's just focusing on this right now.
That's right.
So don't worry about what's,
spiritual food. Response, brother. Beautiful point.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And it says, sufficient unto the day is the evil thereof. So that was it on that.
Because you're going into the essentials, right?
Yeah.
So this is Ecclesiasticus chapter 39, verse 26. The principal things for the whole use of man's life are water, fire, iron, salt, flour of wheat, honey, milk, and the blood of the grape, and the oil, and clothing. All these things are for good to the godly. So to the sinners they are turned into evil. So
That's
the
right.
only things you really need as a man.
Okay, well, we'll go to Costco. What Jake's buying?
Chips, soda.
Bacon, the big pack, family size pack.
Jumbo
Wrapped, steak wrapped in bacon. Bacon chips. Shrimp, gumbo.
No, brother, listen, because
Catfish, and plus everything that can sell it as a bungalow, man. That's what Jake wants to buy.
all these years, hey, the family of these households, man, you guys are something else, because you're 40, 50, 60 years old and you're still doing this shit, right? This tells a lot what the Lord is really doing, man.
Right?
So
he's sending them, on that very right for death.
Yeah, the light at the end of the tunnel.
So called light.
You're on that fucked up ride.
100 kelvins.
Yeah, I told you the light of the train.
Fire.
That's coming to
Fire.
right, there's a train coming to you, man.
Right. Yeah, so you should be at verse
Yeah, verse 17.
Verse
Back in
17.
2nd Ezra. Oh no. Yeah, 2nd Ezra 16. Yeah, come on.
3, 9.
I read 21. So you want me to go back? Because I think you said go to 19.
Yeah, okay.
You want me to go
Yeah,
backwards?
go back and just cover it again.
Okay, I'll go back to 17 then. It says 2nd Ezra 17 or 2 Ezra 16 and 17. Woe is me, who would deliver me in those days?
That's a righteous man, right? And that's the mindset you ought to be in. Because you don't see Apostle Tar saying, I'm good. Apostle Kabar said, well, we good. We're the apostles, right? They're saying, we hope for where those men, right? Like Ezra is saying, man, said they're in the spirit of Ezra. And we should all be in the spirit, humble spirit, man. Say, man, who's going to be that in those days, man? Not that I make it. Like all the Christians is saying, I'm saved. Yeah, you're saved for the missiles, what you're saved for. Right? You're saved for he's going to kick you in the ass. Right? And I'm getting needle in your arm. That's what Doug Ford says. Yeah. That's what you're saved for.
Yeah,
right?
And some cheesecake.
Gun. Stimulus check. I got my stimulus check.
Yeah, that's all.
Mad at Jake.
So it's maybe 2 lines.
So it says, woe is me, who would deliver me in those days? And that's because Ezra's looking at this time now, because we do believe on Yahweh Shai to deliver us. You know, we're not completely.
We're hopeful.
We're hopeful. Exactly. We're hopeful on Yahweh Shai delivering us. We're not caught up in worrying about everything so much. You know, oh, what's going to happen, or maybe, you know. But Ezra's was like that because he was just looking at the vision. He was just seeing destruction, you know.
You know, Habakkuk says we should stand up on our watch. That's the same thing that we're doing. Habakkuk 2 and 1. But anyway, continue.
Right, verse 18. The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death. And
so again, the beginning of famine, like this pipeline thing is not only that you can't get gas, like you need gas for the trucks to do everything that you look at when your eyes open came on a truck. So if you can't get things, you know, logistically to one place to another, like that's gonna start a famine. Like I said before, the food is there, just can't get to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's you know, it's not like there's gonna be no food anywhere. Just can't get to it, man.
Yeah, it's gonna. And it's not just the gas itself for them to put in the vehicles. It's actually byproducts from the gas as well. You know, that they put in. So your oil of Olay and all these other bullshit that they put in there, you know, that they poison you with, you could go and you get it.
And the oil
see your real ugliness.
You know, in front of the dinosaurs' bones, man. About oil is a fossil fuel. Some bullshit they might teach people about from dinosaur bones.
Yeah, you could say that the family is really a cure for these people. Like you just said, now they don't really have to take all, because this food isn't food.
Yeah.
This food isn't food. It's, you know, it's GMO product.
Yeah.
You were looking at because Elder, you mentioned all the components that go in the car, because right now there's a chip shortage in certain vehicles, BMW, even for certain trucks, even for PCs, computers.
Yeah.
So a lot of these chips aren't coming in, and for you to get one, for example, if you're into GPUs, you would have to pay $10,000 for it, when it would originally cost you maybe $700 for a GPU. You know, so all these things are on shortage right now.
Yeah.
Well, the Chrysler today, so let me cut you off. The Chrysler and their Jeeps, the chips are from China, and they're saying if you got a Jeep right now, that made in 2021, you can get good money for it because of the shortage of the chips.
Wow. So the value of the car goes up.
So that's why you're gonna have a lot of these guys stealing these vehicles soon. They're already doing it. You know, they're already doing it, but they're not getting the computing parts because they would have to be a mechanic to teach that shit.
They were stealing
Not just regular little niggas stealing the Cadillac converters.
Yeah, up in
Run under there and blowtorch and cutting it off. You know, because they're doing that in certain states.
Yeah, they were doing it in
They're
Brampton.
doing it here.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, up in Brampton, yeah, in my neighborhood. Did it.
Well, they started again because when I first came to Brampton, they were making jigs from Malton and do all of that shit, steal the cars.
Yeah.
Steal the cars and be taking the car parts and stuff like that and chopping. So
Ain't no rap, nothing.
I'm not gonna say no names, but you know, the black market is open for business.
Get at me, dog.
It says the prophecy, bro.
All right, see you.
God. All right, so verse 18, the beginning of sorrows, the beginning of mourning, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? So, like, again, Ezra's, you know, is just focusing on the vision. The men of the Lord are not really in the state of mind. They might have moments where they think like that, but ultimately they have faith on Yahweh Shem El Shai.
Well, he's just in the right spirit, basically. He's prophesying. Right? He's
Yeah.
saying all these things before they happen, and now we're living in these days he's talking about.
Right.
Right? It says, "Woe is me," and that's spiritual say, man, like how the hell do you know this? Like, pray Yahweh Shai, see us worthy of exemption, man.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I'm like, I made it. You know, because I come to camp on a Saturday, I made some videos. You know, they praying like, please give me this because like, it's gonna be hell, man.
It says pangs. It says pangs, right?
Done.
So we need birth pangs.
Done.
Right. That's right.
You know, that's dangerous for a woman when she's going through that. Her strength is like triple, quadruple, max, whatever. And you just going through beer pain.
Done.
Imagine what a woman's the chemistry is going on in the head, man.
Yeah, it's
I
unbalanced.
want to fucking tear your head off.
Yeah.
Well, she's begging for it to come out. She's begging for the baby to come out.
Yeah.
So you niggas talk about, I killed it. You killed the shit, man. You're fat like saying 8 pounds 2 ounces. you know what I mean? Like, I killed nothing.
Okay.
She just likes you and make you feel good.
Mm-hmm.
She's bound in that sense. Yeah.
You know?
The Lord bounding her. Praises. What verse are you at?
18 now.
Okay.
So in the middle of 18.
And then after you finish 19, if we get there, jump down to 37 of the same book.
Okay. So
It's
middle of
true,
18, it says the beginning of wars
They
and
want 14 pounds 6 ounces.
beginning of.
Babies. That's like,
Oh no, okay, gone. The beginning of wars and the powers shall stand in fear.
That's right. So the ones that are in position of power, you have these countries, these mountains, these governments, in power. They see these terrorists, man. That the Most High with the chariots up in the sky, and then this other place breaks out with war. That happens here. Like even with China and India, I haven't really seen anything as of lately, but there's having still a borderland war, right? And then you're having right now Philippines. They're telling China get the fuck out, right? Because they have regular ships that looks like it's bringing the sea cans, containers, but really they're warships. And they're positioning themselves in the South China Sea, and they're about war. Anybody coming through there, especially America. So that's another way for Philippines to get their fish or whatever.
Yeah.
But they're in cahoots because it's like, oh, we can't come through. They're getting forced out. And this is in their own territory, right? So there's nothing but war,
Yeah.
right? And it'll be over the littlest thing, especially food or resources. And then it's just, just piling up. They're just talking it out. And then it's, oh, this one says this one, no, get the fuck up. Oh, you come in our territory, it's all out war. We're gonna fuck you up.
Go ahead.
Verse 19, it says, behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness.
And amendment for what? For what you've done to those people, man. It says touching Israel is like touching the apple of his eyes. So this is what the amendment is about. It's not you giving a check, like I said earlier in the sit down, man. Somebody couldn't take a check and thought, well, or some acre and a mule. Some madness. No, a scourge, man. Death, blood for blood. Blood in, blood out. Go ahead.
I have the word for amendment, etymology. It's betterment, improvement, 1300s of persons, correction, reformation. From the old French, amendment, rectification, correction, advancement, improvement.
And that's what you call, that's why the Most High's anger is indignation, which is righteous anger, because all these evils are going to come upon, Esau's kingdom to make things better. The missiles, it's a cleansing agent, famine of the word, all of it, or famine of food shortages, all of it is to make things better, because the people are worse, so things are going to get worse, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it from there. But to basically to coincide with what you're reading there, would be jump into Joel 3:3. About Moses about if he's gonna the comeuppance recompense,
Oh,
right? Speedily turn
Yeah.
upon your own head.
that's right.
Beautiful, speedily.
I got a thing I want to bring out.
I was holding this from time though, the Nahum.
Oh, they bring it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a link, it just links us back to, go ahead, bring it up, it's one case that, go ahead.
Can I read it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so this is Nahum chapter 2, verse 9. It says, "Take ye the spoil of silver, take the spoil of gold, for there is none end of the store and glory. Out of all the pleasant furniture, she is empty and void and waste, and the heart melteth, and the knees smite together, and much pain is in all loins, and the faces of them all gather blackness."
Yeah, that's beautiful. What's gonna happen to Babylon, okay, and you wicked, the wicked, and also Esau. I mean, it's coming for you. It's coming for you, straightforward.
I got this article I want to bring up before we close up. It says Beijing issues deadliest war warning, yet as China declares it now ready to defeat the U.S. So it says China has issued its deadliest warning yet as Beijing warned that the U.S. will be defeated. If the two superpowers go to war amid a tense standoff over the South China Sea and Taiwan, China has pledged to rapidly defeat the U.S. in a military conflict. In one of the country's most explicit warnings yet, China's Global Times, which is seen as a government news outlet, published an editorial revealing that a threat in response to joint military drills carried out by the U.S. The U.S. joined drills with Japan, Australia, and France this week in an intended show of force against Beijing. And that's being bold, man. That's the weak saying they're strong and turn their pruning and plowshares into what? Weapons, man. Warfare. That's scary no more, man. You don't damn support no more. All right? And Brother Scriptures ain't what they're going. Obadiah 1:7 says, "All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at
So Confederacy going back to Psalms 83, right? Talking about them, how they conspired to take Israel down from being a nation. Are we gonna divide these bunch of Sunni Negroes, all right, and prairie Negroes and so forth, all right? Continue.
And Moab is who the Chinese are. So that's why Ella said Psalm 83. Moab is in there, and he was at peace with them, man. Right? So it says, with thee is deceived thee and prevailed against thee. So he's not talking smack to the average American. Oh, we're smoking, man. We got this. Listen, they're gonna prevail, man. All right.
Especially these liberal Edomites, whether it be up here or Australia or wherever, they know what you're saying is living proof. Other people are like, oh no, that will never happen. You're a communist.
Proud, man.
But the liberal ones, they know.
So prevailed against it.
I'm sorry about that, but a lot of these dumb Americans, like what you're talking about, they don't even understand the whole election and all the bills being passed with the anti-Asian hate laws. That all comes into effect of keeping the bonds tight between America and the continent of Asia. Because you have the whole Kamala Harris come in to make peace with the so-called Indians for business. Because you have Silicon Valley over there and the new Silicon Valley in India. India is becoming a tech giant powerhouse. So they have to keep the ties under control amongst the powers over there.
Yeah, because they have a contract with Apple to make the Apple phones and Apple products.
And not only that, because you have a lot of their students that are into IT and technology, they're no longer coming over here. They're keeping it at home. So they have to control that region over there. And you have China with anti-Asian hate laws. You got to keep those people happy over here, right? To make a statement. So these Americans, they don't understand what's going on economically and politically. Come on.
No, they have
That's big moves, man.
No clue. No clue. Real quick,
Finish this up.
Yeah.
No, I just wanted to mention about what you're reading there,
Okay.
because just for the record, right? You're talking about the only G20 country that's not there is China, because they're against China, correct? But I'm just saying the stronger G7 nations mixed with the G20 nations, right, is doing that. But that's what I wanted to mention. That's what's really going on there, for the record, right? Stronger G7 and the rest of them are part of that nasty G20. Right?
Which all comes back to the peace.
Yeah, really going back to peace. That's what. Go ahead.
Okay, so deceive thee and prevail against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. Like we said, there's like, oh, this is gonna happen. We're reading what's gonna happen, but you can't understand it because Moses has blinded your eyes and sealed your ears.
Read that part again about the bread.
So it says, and prevail against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee.
Right, so they're in partnership. They're
Done.
gonna keep on having, oh, we come and have this party and then, oh, this agreement, new deal or whatever. You know, so everybody can, yam a piece of bread.
Eat that
and
food.
cheese, right?
Eat that food, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a break bread, don't call it break bread, chopping it up. So we're chopping it up against us, man. But it's like a turf war. So like at a certain point, you think take the boss over and you call the shots, you're going to do it.
Yeah.
So you know what, the Lord's people in tributaries, you know what? Enough of that, man. I want to take them people over now. You know what I mean? You give me the gold now.
Yeah.
You know? So that's where they're at. But Yahushua is coming back. That's what we're saying. When we're hastening is coming. That's this year is called hastening the coming. Because if we don't do another mobile game, another subjection. Can you imagine if this was ending now, or if we go to another thing on they hate us, man. You know what I mean? The Moabites hate us, right? More so than Esau, because they've become like Esau, but with more aggression.
Yeah, they don't have the power to do it because of Esau.
Gone.
Because if brothers had seen, what was it called again? Second Red Dawn, I think it came out 2011 or 12.
Wow.
Yeah, so it would be them because the Korean is Moab. And they show you how oppressing they were. There was even a game that came out. What was it called? Korean something. Do you remember the name of it, Gabar?
Korean?
Yeah, there was a game that came out and it showed you when.
Homefront.
Yeah, that's it. Homefront. The water. And show you what Moab is our fucking great oppressor, man.
Yeah, it is.
Because they have tactics of trying to get information out of you, man. One of their great tactics is making you not fucking sleep. Depriving you of sleep, man. They use the scorpions and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen more. Remember those Chuck Norris movies back in the day, man?
Yeah. Delta Force.
Yeah. You see how Moab got down?
Yeah.
That's how you know brothers.
That's Vietnam.
Yeah.
That's how you know brothers.
That's Moab as well. It's like it.
No, it's okay. Slack. I was just gonna say that's how you know brothers are in the spirit for the kingdom, because when you hear different torture tactics, it's funny. You know, like some of the things that Esau and Moab does, that they do when they're over people, all the torture tactics. It's like you think about what they're doing. It's like, man, that's crazy because it's gonna be double onto these guys.
Yeah.
Without them even
With
knowing
spiritual powers.
Exactly. Yeah, with spiritual powers.
Well, they're using Vlad's castle in Romania as
Impaler.
as a C-18+1 site, man. To you get free admission. You get to see the torture instrument they use. So you basically come here. I show you what we always did, kill people back in the days by killing you.
And that's Vlad is a Jake. You know what I'm saying? Vlad is a Jake. So you that's another thing to cover in cast. I know Elijah Esau have been telling people, for even his people, because they think the people in the dark ages are their people.
Yeah.
Vlad Tepes is described as a swarthy Jake with braided hair and white nose, man.
Yeah.
So you go do your research.
Remember, he was killing who was he killing?
He was killing Amalek. Those Turkish.
Yeah, it was Turks.
Yeah.
The Turks.
Yeah.
Right. That were coming up in power under the Muslims. Ishmael.
Khan.
You want to end off at 37?
Yeah.
End off with verse 37. Second Ezra 16 and 37. It says, "Behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack,
And those plagues goes back, I think, Zephaniah, with the missiles, or Zechariah, right? So those are the plagues that draw at 9 men, right? What's happening in Israel there with the Iron Dome and them we call it thing again?
You know, some Scots.
It's Scots, right? That's minuscule to what's going to come here. There's been an Iron Dome to protect this, right? It says not break his rank. So because it's break his rank over there, won't break his rank over here, man. It's gonna come like madman spirit, none.
Yeah. Because angels are gonna get involved.
God.
Because even if they have a defense wall system or whatever, right, a grid for taking out missiles and this and that, the angels are gonna get involved and knock out that shit. It has to happen.
Did I post in the chat? My brother posted that there's a car run over a guy. You saw that?
I saw that.
Run over him. Then they helped him, and the car came back, ran over him again. And they ran out of the way. Ran over him again. Like the most I said, you dying to the. You saw that? Is that it? Yeah, man.
Did he get him the second time?
3 times. The car hit him.
Finish him.
Came around and they helped him. And the car came back and hit him again. And it's not in the car. It's gonna. The most I play with him, man. So it'll show you the power of Yahweh Shai. So that's why we fear the Lord, man, because he don't play, right? Like doesn't hit and miss, like 100% accurate.
Like this man.
Sam.
Yeah. And that's like 30 seconds. Imagine this, being there. You want some press?
You must draw. It's got shit right there. That shit draws right there.
Yeah.
You know? Spirit left them. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah.
Enough of them are dying every day.
11th of May.
All right. So with that, we're gonna close this lesson, and we're gonna give all praise to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, Hashem, Rakadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to the elect, pushing this word in truth and sincerity across the four corners of the earth. And peace and mercy to the seer Aqua that may listen. Above,
Above.
Shalom.